broadcast is brought to you by the Tennessee Governor's Highway Safety Office. Remember last week when we couldn't believe how nice and cool it was in the high 70s? We know we're in Nashville in August again now. Look at that. Even in the evening, temperatures in the mid-90s. It feels every bit of that with the humidity. Going to be a long night of work out there for those players, but an important one as well for making the roster. So we're all getting pretty used to this kickoff, but it's still so new. It looks kind of jarring at the beginning. We wanted to run through the new kickoff rules once again. Kicker's going to be by himself on the 35. Everyone else will be way up on the other side of the field. Important to remember that nobody can move until the ball is touched by the receiving team. This is all done in an effort to increase the run backs and to decrease the amount of collisions. Neither team is going to move until the ball, as you can see, touches. Landing zone comes into play from the 20-yard and on in, and these rules inside that 20-yard line known as the landing zone. They really want to see more returns, and they just want fewer big-time collisions that we got so used to seeing on kickoff for so many years. And Charles, we've had a peek at it now, heading into week 2 of the preseason. Your first thoughts? It's
not ideal in terms of, how old I am and what a kickoff is supposed to look like. But what is ideal is that we're getting returns. Now, I don't know what's going to happen when the regular season begins. The special teams coaches will dictate. But right now, they want to see these guys cover. They want to see returns. This gives them a chance to evaluate players, whether they'll make the squad or not. So I'm enjoying here in the early going that more kicks are returned than not. Way more.
I think we were seeing Hassan Haskins, one of the running backs, trying to prove he is the 3rd best running back on this team, playing special teams for a reason. Might be his ticket to being on the 53. So bringing it out for Seattle, D. Williams. He was just beyond the goal line. He's got a nice seam there along the right side. And almost brought that one out to the 40-yard line. So the league wants to see more kickoffs, and the Seattle side will like that kickoff there. Tackle made by Elijah Molden.
And D. Williams, a Tennessee Volunteer, back in his home state with a big return to get things started for Seattle.
Said like you're a former Tennessee Volunteer yourself, Charles.
You know some? Yes, I am. I claim to be, yes.
So as we mentioned at the top, you won't see any starters on either side of the ball tonight. There are, in fact, 38 Titans, whether it's an injury or the fact that they earned the time off based off of how they played in joint practices Wednesday and Thursday, who will not be playing here tonight. So a wonderful chance for the backups to prove they do belong on this team. Starting at quarterback for Seattle, as Geno Smith gets a rest, is Sam Howell, 3rd-year quarterback out of North Carolina. Kenny McIntosh, the tailback next to him. First completion is flared out to the left. Nice job there on the perimeter by the Titans defense to keep that to just a gain of 1. Aaron Carrer, first one there. Yeah, the tackle on Chenault.
Looked like Elijah Molden was there as well, number 24, a veteran on this team, trying to find his way in a secondary that in recent weeks has added Quandre Diggs, has added Jamal Adams, guys who play his position at safety.
Sam Howell threw for over 303 touchdowns in a 2-point loss when he was playing for Washington at Seattle in early November. They took note because a trade later, he is now lining up starting here for the Seahawks in his 3rd season. McIntosh remains the tailback. His first carry, little hesitation, and once again, 2nd play in a row. The Titans defense is there to keep that to a small gain. Tonight's impact players are presented by the Musicians Hall of Fame. A pair of rookies here we're keeping an eye on.
Yeah, Jarvis Brownlee at corner. He'll wear number 29, and he plays awfully aggressively on the corner. And James Williams, a former safety at the University of Miami, now playing linebacker. He'll wear number 52. And on that last play, Paul, who made the tackle? Chance Campbell.
There you go.
It's amazing how it works out, right? Corey Curtis talked about him in the open, as well as Otis Reese. Both of them on search and destroy missions in the middle of the field.
Defensive coordinator Denard Wilson saying during the week, we got to be better on 3rd down. Here's their first chance, and they come through. Seahawks, first time with the ball, go 3 and out.
And I think I saw Otis Reese 41 and Chance Campbell 45 both come at linebacker. And yes, they brought the pressure. Watch in here, watch in here. And look who's there right on the scene. Chance Campbell making Sam Howell alter his throwing motion and forces the incompletion. Denard Wilson, the defensive coordinator, always aggressive. None more so than right now on 3rd down.
Getting a good look there. One of the rookie draft picks, Jaquan Jackson. Brian Callahan used a couple of good E words to describe him. Electric, explosive when we talked to him yesterday.
And he wants to add elusive in there as well if he can. Nice punt.
Well, that was really well played by Michael Dixon. Pinning that one out of bounds. They see if they give him inside the 10. Almost. And they continue to walk that one out right there at the 15-yard line. So Jaquan Jackson will have to wait to get his first touch after 41-yard punt in no return. So as Charles talked about at the top of the show, starting at quarterback, Malik Willis. It was fun listening to head coach Brian Callahan yesterday talk about the fact that he has earned the right to get some time with the twos. He did point out Mason Rudolph does have an edge right now. He would be the number 2 as it stands, but he wants him to get time with the backups. He'll play in the first quarter and the third. Julius Chestnut, the tailback to his left. Play action to him. Comes back to his second option, and that is Chestnut out of the backfield. Good cutback. And he gets out to the 29-yard line. One play and one first down from Willis to Chestnut for 15.
Brian Callahan talked about this young man, Malik Willis, and how far he's come since he first saw him at OTAs. Footwork, timing, ability to deliver the ball with good placement, and also how they've been working on him to make sure running the football is the last resort, not the first resort. Paul, we saw every bit of that on that play right there with Malik Willis.
Said he wants to see his mind continue to calm like he did right there to go from the first read to the second to the third. His night off to a good start. First and 10, toss sweep. And not much there this time to set us up for tonight's Impact Players, who are presented by the Musicians Hall of Fame. And once again, rookies.
Yeah, and why not? Jaquan Jackson didn't get the punt return, but expect to see him in the passing game as well. They just say that nothing has been too big for him. He's less like a rookie every day. And David Martin Robinson, tight end out of Temple, undrafted, may be the story of this camp. He has put himself in a position where they may end up having to keep 4 tight ends because of his play. Not just his ability to catch the football, but surprising ability to move people off the line of scrimmage while blocking.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised at how physical he has been in his first camp. That's Chestnut in motion to the left, now back to the right on second and long. He gets the carry again up the middle, makes one man miss and some harder yards up there to the 32. And Brian Callahan told us he had a really strong couple of days against the Seahawks in the joint practices. Charles, you were there as well. And he said he's really starting to separate himself as a very good runner.
He really is. And I think what it's come down to, because you've mentioned before, Paul, who's going to be the third running back here, right? And the competition right now appears to be between Chestnut and Hassan Haskins. Chestnut, the better ball carrier, the better overall running back. Hassan Haskins, the better special teams player. How will that break down in the final evaluation for the Tennessee Titans?
Titans were really good on third down in preseason game number 1. And as I say that, we have movement on the right side.
Looks like a Juku from Boise.
False start. Offense, number 61. It's a 5-yard penalty.
He was set up in
Still
pass protection, that's for sure.
He was in a hurry. That's referee Craig Rolstad tonight. But as I mentioned before that, when it was 3rd and 7, now it's going to be tougher on 3rd and 12. But Tennessee was terrific on third down last week, Charles. From start to the end of the game, they converted over half of the time. Tough one here on 3rd and 12. Good chance for Malik Willis, though. He's 1 for 1, and he's in trouble there. Goes down to the 10-yard line. Tried to slide out to the left, but there was nothing there. 3 Seahawks got there, led by Boye Mafe.
And Paul, this is part of the problem as you described before the play. You go from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 12. 3rd and 7, you have routes where he can get rid of the football. 3rd and 12, you've got to let that develop a little bit more downfield, which means extra time and the pass rush able to get there before he can unload it.
Willis in the offense, jogged to the sideline, Ty Zitner out, who will be the punter tonight. That was a loss of 14 yards on 3rd down and 12. On that first possession, though, Tennessee did pick up 1 first down. Not Zitner's best effort, end over end. Fair catch called for on the 37-yard line. So both teams have had the ball once. No score. It's early here in the second preseason game for the Seahawks and the Titans on the Titans Network, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Denard Wilson spent the last decade plus working with NFL defensive backs. This will be his first year as a defensive coordinator here in Nashville, and I know you had a chance to talk to him this week.
Yeah, and it was great to actually catch up with Coach Wilson because, you know, you want to find out how did it go week 1? What are you thinking about this week? But the biggest thing is, you mentioned he's been with defensive backs. He's been a passing game coordinator, but he told me straight up that he's been wanting to be a defensive coordinator in the NFL for as long as he can remember and has been working to that goal. And now that it's finally here, No man is better than his opportunity, and he's ready to take advantage of it.
Sam Howell on his second series here for Seattle in his first year as a Seahawk gives to McIntosh right up front. Keeping it with the big picture thought of the defense here in the first year for Denard Wilson, Charles. Brian Callahan told us yesterday, I said, what did you really like about the week that you spent with the Seahawks? He said, physicality up front. In particular, he thinks we're going to be a handful on that defensive line.
And he's talking about, of course, Jeffrey Simmons, T'Vondre Sweat, and what they did with Seattle up front. And this is going to be, look, an attacking defense, a lot of press coverage. They're going to play with a lot of effort, and they did that against San Francisco. They just want to get a little bit better in this one, refine what they call their eye discipline, their techniques, and their fundamentals, but continue to play awfully hard.
Linebacker blitz coming. That was Chance Campbell. Did it so well in week 1. Penalty marker is down. Here's Craig Wolstad.
False start. Offense. Number 64. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's one aside.
Yeah, and that's the big rookie out of UConn, Christian Haynes, who really showed well at the Senior Bowl. A little bit unorthodox, and for Tennessee fans, I know you're not going to watch him much, but he reminds me of Nate Davis when he was here in Tennessee. A little bit unorthodox, but the job gets done and can be a real mauler in the run game.
Sam Howell started all 17 games for the Commanders last year. 4-man rush. In trouble as he tries to step up. Fumbled the football. Scrum forward on the 21-yard line. It looks like Seattle got in there to get it. And Jalen Harrell, the 7th-round rookie, the linebacker out of Michigan, was the one to knock the ball out.
Remember what Brian Callahan told us about him before week 1? Like what he's done in practice. Want to see him prove it now when you take it to the game. And what did he do there? Ran right over the offensive tackle, Stone Forsythe. Watch him right down here. Just runs right over Forsythe and continues his way back to the quarterback. So if Brian Callahan had questions, is he going to prove it? Jalen Harrell's trying to show that on film.
Sam Harrell on 3rd and forever. 25 to be exact, out to his right. Still looking, he'll keep it himself and run out of bounds. And just like we saw last week, Charles, that's a linebacker blitz from Denard Wilson's group, with TK McClendon with the pursuit there, getting it done for Tennessee.
The pressure up front, but the coverage on the back end was tremendous. Everywhere I looked for a white jersey, all I saw was the Columbia blue. Everyone attached to them, as they say in the defensive parlance, plastered to the receivers. Nowhere for Sam Howell to fit the football in. Did the smart, prudent thing and went over the sideline.
Okay, now let's see if we get a look at Jaquan Jackson. Electric and explosive, as Brian Callahan said to us yesterday. First time they punted away from him. Remember, he had the 26-yard return against San Francisco last week. Now he goes with a fair catch. On the 32-yard line, punt of 40 yards with no return. Jalen Harrell, one of 2 7th-round linebackers that the Titans picked there late in the draft. He gets home and knocks the ball out. The Titans didn't recover, but that set up the 3 and outs. Titans on offense next when we come back. Be there for all the action in 2024. Great season ticket options with flexible payment plans are still available. Scan the QR code to learn more. Presented by SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Tennessee Titans. Seahawks have had the ball twice. No score. This will be the Tennessee Titans' second possession. Malik Willis will play the entire first quarter. Will Levis not playing tonight. And for the first time at running back, we get a peek at Jamari Small. Jabari, play action fake. Good catch right there. And a Tennessee first down. Mason Kinsey in his 5th camp with the Titans having his best go yet. Gets 14 there.
Corey Curtis, as we watch this replay, Mason Kinsey, I call him the people's choice or the people's champ. I think he's got his best chance to make this team this year.
And Charles, I do think that's the consensus here. And as we mentioned, his 5th camp gets a catch now, and Malik starts out 2 for 2. Jabari Small from Tennessee, undrafted free agent, play action to him. Willis, nice pocket, floats one and just missed a wide open Nick Westbrook-Akine. He won't get much more open than that.
Not at all, and those are the ones you got to rip and hit, Paul. You're a former quarterback, you understand, especially when you're competing for a possibility of a job, meaning backup quarterback, QB2. Every opportunity that's there, take it, hit it. especially when you've got an experienced receiver like Westbrook-Akine on the field.
Brian Callahan awfully complimentary of Westbrook-Akine yesterday. Said he has all kinds of value because he can play every position. He's consistent. He's dependable. That's what you want for your 4th or 5th wide receiver. And he was wide open there. 2nd down 10. Check it down. Didn't quite get out to the 50-yard line. And that'll set up 3rd down and 8.
Corey, as we get ready for 3rd down and 8, Mason Kinsey I brought up before. We just talked about Nick Westbrook-Akine. How about the battle for receiver spots on this team?
Well, the big question is 6 or 7, and then you're breaking it down to a couple of guys. And, of course, we're talking about special teams. I think Nick Westbrook-Akine is safely on this football team. But, you know, I had a guy describe to me Mason Kinsey this way. If he knew the apocalypse was coming, he's hanging on a number 12 because that dude's a survivor. And he did not back down at practice all week long. He was a handful and an earful for the Seahawks, and he's had a great camp. And he can also return punts.
Yeah, no doubt about it, as we see the call go against the Tennessee Titans that cost him 5 yards.
Exact same thing we saw in the first possession.
Yeah, so
from 37 to 3rd and 12.
It was a Juku on the right side. Was that Jaron Christian on the left side this time? I believe at left tackle.
Jalen Duncan.
Jalen Duncan, excuse me. Jalen Duncan, the 2nd-year player out of Maryland. But Corey's right about these receivers. And Mason Kinsey, he didn't back down at all against Seattle. Talked a little trash while he was out there making plays.
Willis in trouble, has to fire that one toward Westbrook-Akine. So they missed the connection on the wide open Westbrook-Akine. Then they have the 5-yard penalty. Pressure gets to him there, and the punt team coming out.
Someone better think about blocking this guy right here, number 53, Boye Mafe. Really good player. Look how relentless he is. And then look at him gain ground and close. Good job by Malik Willis, sensing him being there and getting rid of the football to no harm.
Ty Zitner out for his 2nd punt of the night. High, not quite a spiral, down to the inside the 15 from the 13. Dean Williams, nice cutback. In trouble though. Gets out to the 16-yard line, and that is it. The rookie cornerback from Louisville, Jarvis Brownlee, making the play on special teams. You're watching the Titans Network, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Titans first-year defensive coordinator Denard Wilson facing Sam Howell and the Seahawks tonight. Take a look at his resume. A lot of work with defensive backs, and that pass defense is going to get some interesting work when the regular season starts, Charles. First 4 quarterbacks that we think they'll see: Caleb Williams,
Chicago,
Aaron Rodgers,
New York Jets,
Jordan Love,
Green Bay Packers,
Tua, and all the weapons he has there in
Miami Dolphins, and all different varieties of what you're getting. Because you're getting a rookie in his first game with Caleb Williams, and as exciting as he is, you would expect this blitz package to be increased against the rookie. Do you do the same thing week 2 against Aaron Rodgers, who's seen everything? It's going to be a fun game of cat and mouse for Denard Wilson and his defense.
Defense has been awfully good so far. They've forced a pair 3 and outs. Seattle's only had the ball twice. Well, he had a man in his face that time, did Howell. Good job of getting the completion out to the 20-yard line.
I feel like the ball got tipped. I think it got affected because of what you were talking about. Let's take a look here and see what happens. Looks like Jalen Harrell again, and I think he got a piece of it. And somehow Sam Howell had enough arm strength to get it out there as he runs the route against Trey Avery. And somehow they got a completion despite the pressure by Harrell.
Brian Callahan, when I asked him yesterday, Charles, what position group, like where will your eyes go first on defense? He didn't hesitate. He said, my young linebackers.
Right here in the middle.
James Williams, Jalen Harrell. 2nd down 5. Here comes another blitz. Campbell didn't get there in time. Nice job by Howell getting that one out. And that'll be Seattle's first down just across the 30-yard line to Laviska Shenault. Gain of 8.
Yeah, and look, Howell read that one well and threw to the vacated spot. But what I liked about this play was the pressure came. Seattle figured it out and hit it. But look who's right there on the spot, filling the gap. Elijah Molden. So that's good cohesiveness on defense. Look, they're going to hit a few passes along the way. You're not going to just shut them out. But when they do hit one, the next guy has to be there to cover for his teammate.
Chance Campbell, leading tackler last week, had a tackle for loss, had the game-ending interception, and a good 2 days against the Seahawks during the week. Little fly sweep around the left side, and a nice job by Shenault to break in tackles. But the Titans were there to keep that to a short gain out to the 33. Gained about 4 or 5. Elijah Molden was there first.
And I thought they did a good job with the defensive front. Corey Curtis, I know Marlon Davidson isn't playing tonight, but this defensive front's done a nice job in camp, haven't they?
Yeah, Marlon Davidson tore a biceps during those good practices against the Seahawks. He's unfortunately out for the season. So that depth will be tested. They, in fact, signed Abdullah Anderson just yesterday. Journeyman who's played for 5 different teams. He'll get some action tonight. He wears number 78 after that injury to Davidson. Toss sweep to the right side. The Titans pursued pretty heavy out there around the corner. Holani, the ball carrier. Chance Campbell was there, and he got there with authority. Gain of 3 to bring up 3rd and short.
Corey Curtis's defensive front trying to keep these linebackers clean so they can make those types of plays.
Yeah, and they've got a real opportunity with Marlon Davidson down for the season. One guy I'm looking at is big TK McClendon, a former tight end at LSU, now a defensive lineman, put on 15 pounds this offseason, up to 295 pounds. And we saw the big finish last week by Keandre Coburn. Those are guys with a real chance to play now with that opening in the lineup.
McClendon wearing 96, Coburn 91. I'll guarantee you Paul McClendon will tell you he could still play tight end.
3rd down and 2, more linebacker blitz. Good job by Howell. This is a 1st down. Seattle just inside of Tennessee territory. Evaded the blitz and found A.J. Barner, rookie out of Michigan, one of the many good players coming out in the draft from Ann Arbor. He got 16.
Yeah, pretty sure that Denard Wilson, the defensive coordinator, and then, of course, Frank Bush, the linebackers coach, what they will say in the meeting after that play, hey, if we're going to send you to get you home, you got to finish it off. You can't miss him in the pocket like that because that creates those types of plays, and they gave up a 1st down.
So Seattle didn't pick up a single 1st down, Charles, in their first 2 drives. That was their 2nd on this. Now they set up shop inside of Tennessee territory. 1st down and 10. Right up the middle, they find success against that depleted defensive line. That's the 3rd 1st down on this drive. This time down to the 33 after a gain of 13.
And this was something that Denard Wilson talked about with us, Paul, that he wanted to help clean up from last week. What he calls leaky yardage. Everything was blocked up so well on that play by Seattle that the ball carrier wasn't pressed until he got to the 3rd level, until he got to the secondary. That's not something you want to see. You need your defensive front to at least slow him down, and he started to make a play on him by the 2nd level where the linebackers are.
Elijah Molden, the safety, made the stop, 4th-year player out of Washington. And they try it again, this time more success as they bounce it out to the left. And they get inside the 25-yard line, just enough for another 1st down. Kenny McIntosh on back-to-back runs, basically between the tackles, gets double-digit gains. That one got him 11.
Paul, I thought the defensive front did a nice job initially because they stacked it up. But good eyes by McIntosh to see that the gap was on the left side when it was supposed to be blocked to the right. He took his eyes left, and the backside deep defender not up on the line of scrimmage and allowed McIntosh access to the secondary.
No score yet here in Tennessee. 2nd preseason game for the Seahawks and the Titans. Sam Howell and Seattle threatening here. 1st down and 10 on the 24. Nice pocket to the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. Aesop Winston Jr. out of Washington State makes it 6-0 Seahawks.
That was blocked really well by Seattle. No pressure on Sam Howell, and he threw a perfect pass to Aesop Winston. Look up front. No one even close to number 6 in the backfield, and he put a perfect ball on number 13, Aesop Winston Jr., right over the shoulder of Trey Avery.
Boy, Sam Howell couldn't have thrown that ball any better. You pointed it out, Charles. That was pretty, right on the money. He had half a step on Avery, and the ball was dropped right in his breadbasket. 1st touchdown of the night. And the extra point from Jason Myers. Whoa. Little tail there at the end. A doink.
Hello, upright.
Let's see if that'll come back and cost him. Sam Howell, job well done. Touchdown pass. Extra point is missed. And the visiting Seahawks on top. 6-0. Can't walk out there and place the ball any better than that. This is the Titans Network presented by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Gorgeous, wasn't it?
Back at Nissan Stadium, the Tennessee Titans trail the Seattle Seahawks 6-0 with 1:09 left to play in the 1st quarter. It's time for tonight's X-Poll question. It's a simple one, but I think this one is going to be close. Who will lead the Titans in receptions this season? Hopkins, Ridley, Boyd, or how about the running back, Tony Pollard? Go to @CoreyCurtis2 on X and vote.
I've got a thought, Charles. Who's your vote?
You go ahead, give me your thought.
I've got D-Hop.
the leader of the pack, the guy who makes the big catches. It makes perfect sense. But Tyler Boyd coming over from Cincinnati, the ability to play out of the slot, a big slot like that, he may very well up the number of catches. Remember, he's a 2-time 1,000-yard receiver in Cincinnati before he ended up getting a couple guys who showed up, right?
Yeah.
One guy named Jamar Chase.
Pretty good.
Made it a little bit tougher for him.
And we believe that Malik Willis, who, yes, he will come out. He gets the whole first quarter with 1:09 left, and a little more on Tyler Boyd, Charles. What I really like about him is sometimes a guy who's been a really strong piece of a good offense goes to a new place, he's expected to be the #1 guy.
Yeah.
Well, he was great as a 3.
Yes.
And it's pretty much the same role here.
And it's not bothering him either. He was the #1 receiver. Then T. Higgins showed up. He became the #2 receiver. Jamar Chase showed up. He became #3 receiver. Never heard a peep out of him. No loss of play, no loss of playing hard. He comes to Tennessee knowing he would be the 3 guy, not bothering him one bit.
Up to the 31-yard line goes Julius Chestnut in that battle with Hassan Haskins to be the 3rd back behind Spears and Pollard. Neither one of them will play here tonight. You know, you have Julius Chestnut. He was outstanding at Sacred Heart, a 1AA school. And he's going up against Hassan Haskins, as big as it gets, played at Michigan. They both excelled on their levels, and now in a competition to be that 3rd guy in the backfield as we're now inside a minute left in the first quarter.
And as you noted before, Jabari Small getting a little notice too out of Tennessee.
Nice step up there by Willis. Go ahead and keep it yourself. He slid right near the sticks there. He's going to be about a half a yard short. Nice job at getting down. Gain of 8. Remember, we saw Will Levis take that giant hit at the goal line last week, and Malik said no thanks.
Yeah, that talked with Nick Holes, the offensive coordinator, about that hit that Levis took last week. And he said, "What were you doing?" And Levis said, "Coach, I like to get hit and get into the game." And Holt said, "Not like that, not again. Don't do that."
Says we like to keep you in the game.
We want to have you around.
And that'll do it here for the first quarter. And Malik Willis, we knew he would play the first, but if you start the first quarter and it's your drive, do you get the second?
This is going to be interesting to see how they do it, right? Or is it like Little League Baseball when you hit your pitch count, you got to come out anyway?
Sam Howell had a pretty touchdown pass for the Seahawks. No points yet for the Titans. We head to the second quarter of the Titans Network, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance.
The Musicians Hall of Fame and Museum. The stories, history, and memorabilia of
after they had heated practices together on Wednesday and Thursday. So focus big time on a couple of quarterbacks from the class of 22. Just 2 years ago, Sam Howell went in the 5th round to Washington. He just led a touchdown drive for Seattle. 3rd round pick from that class of 22, Malik Willis, in what should be the final drive of his first half. He got the first quarter, and since we had the break while his unit was still out there, he'll get this one more time. He went the quarterback sneak there and did pick up a first down. So thinking about the class of 22 and when he came out, 3rd round pick here in Tennessee, Brian Callahan, now his head coach, Charles, was the offensive coordinator in Cincinnati, told us yesterday, he said, I remember him coming out and being intrigued by his talent, and said, boy, if you could harness that, you'd have something. Now that he's his quarterback, he says he's trying to refine that talent.
Yeah, and remember, it all started with seeing him the first time at OTAs. He said he almost pulled out the tape from that time frame to show Malik Willis how far he's progressed in terms of footwork and ball placement since that time.
Julius Chestnut, good cutback. The vision shows up there. Good run out to the 47-yard line. Picks up 6 on first down.
Really good cutback as you described, and the best part was the surge he got on the backside when he made the cut. Watch the offensive line over here, because this is where the cutback is going to occur. Starts to the right. Good job taking him down in there. That's Lachavius Simmons, number 73. Excellent job working his way back that way. And also Jalen Duncan, number 71. Both of them did a nice job pushing the defenders inside to allow for the cutback by Chestnut.
Chestnut remains in the game to go along with the vision. Brian Callahan telling us yesterday, really runs behind his pads. Has another chance to show that here. Breaks a tackle in the backfield, but nowhere to go. And no gain to bring up 3rd down and 5. And this, Charles, should be another chance for Malik Willis to show up with the passing game. A little extracurriculars there. These teams got after each other on Wednesday and Thursday. It carries over into Saturday evening. But Malik Willis, Had some good moments in that first quarter, did miss an open receiver, and this is a big play for him on 3rd down and 4.
These are the plays that make you a big-time quarterback in the NFL. 3rd down is where you make your reputation, where your team starts to believe in you. Let's see if one of these receivers who's trying to make the team can shake themselves open and have Willis deliver.
Tennessee 1 for 3, converting 3rd down. 4-man rush. Westbrook-Akine, nice strong hands, gets just enough for the Titans' 1st down.
And that's a guy that we think is going to make the team. Corey Curtis told us he thinks that Nick Westbrook-Akine is safe for this ball club, and this is why. Mr. Dependable, Mr. Reliable, as his head coach Brian Callahan would call him. Said he admired him while he was in Cincinnati. Watch him. Then he got to see him up close, and he makes play after play continuously. That keeps the sticks moving for Tennessee.
Talk about accepting your role. He knows he's the 4th receiver, and he knows he might have to go in at any one of those positions. And he's trusted all along the line there on that perimeter. Tennessee now setting up for the first time tonight inside of Seattle territory. Willis flushed out, penalty marker comes in. He does find an open man at the 41-yard line. That's Jabari Small out of the backfield. Would be a gain of 7, but we'll check in here with Craig Rolstad.
Came from a bad place for an offense, coming from a referee or an umpire.
Offense, number 61. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
Yeah, John Ojukwu, he had a false start earlier in the ball game. This time he gets caught holding. The big man out of Boise State trying to make this roster.
You remember well, and Brian Callahan talked about it yesterday to us, when Malik Willis was coming out of Liberty. Started at Auburn, not a lot of time there, and he really came alive there at Liberty. 17-6 record, and it was really the combo. Threw for almost 5,000 yards, but ran for 1,800 yards, and that was what was so enticing when he went in the 3rd round.
The mobility and the big arm so enticing to teams.
Jabari Small gets out of the backfield again, checks it down to him, and he caught it the 3rd time. But the bobble will cost him any chance for the run after the catch. Goes down there at the 45.
Willis took a hit in the pocket on that one, but he made the right decision, Paul. Didn't have what he wanted downfield, checked it down to the running back. If Small catches that clean, he might have a chance to turn. Look like Mike Morris, 2nd-year defender out of the University of Michigan, got to him.
There's so many times a backup quarterback, knowing that the chances are limited in August, will just try and go downfield and force it, and it's hard to get yourself to check it down. So far, he's done a nice job. 2nd down, 17. He keeps it himself. Quarterback draw. Does that very well. Gets a lot of that yardage back to get him into 3rd down and somewhat manageable. Gets 8. And now it'll be 3rd down and 9.
It's a play we're seeing more and more in vogue in the NFL with a mobile quarterback, is that quarterback draw. But we're seeing it from a lot of teams where they'll use a center or a guard to be that lead guy for him. In this case, Tennessee used Jabari Small, the running back, to be the lead for Malik Willis.
And when Malik got to play quite a bit 2 years ago, ran for over 100 yards and showed plays like that quite a bit. Needs his arm here on 3rd down and 9. 4-man rush. In trouble. Finds a way to get it downfield, and that bounced off his intended receiver. High and away, and that was Mason Kinsey on the sideline. Couldn't come down with it.
So he did a nice job getting away from Mafe in the pocket. But as he got outside, he's trying to complete the pass. 1, it was contested well by Trey Brown. But 2, it came out hot. This thing is smoking when it gets to Kinsey. This is going to be a very difficult catch, even if you're not contested.
You know, Kinsey expects to catch that, even though you pointed out, Charles, and that was astute. That was a fastball. When it could have been 90, and it was about 98.
Looked like Paul Skeens, the rookie out of Pittsburgh, bringing it.
Well done. Fair catch called for on the 13-yard line. 34-yard punt with no return, so we expect to see Mason Rudolph next time when the Titans come out on offense. Malik Willis had 3 possessions, no points for Tennessee. This is the Titans Network presented by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome back to Nashville, Tennessee, and the Tennessee Titans here in their 2nd preseason game, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. 6-0 score right now, Seattle with an early touchdown. But Paul, Tennessee's defense back on the field. We'll get to them. But Malik Willis, his first quarter, what did you see since you're a former QB?
Not bad. I mean, 5 out of 8, 40 yards. He certainly had some good plays, made it happen with his feet as well on called rushes and also outside the pocket. Did miss a wide open receiver on a well dialed up play. Bottom line though, Charles, he had 3 possessions, They don't have any points yet, and he'll have a chance to go at it again as the third quarter will be his. Nice stiff arm right there for Kenny McIntosh. Picks up 4 yards, but I thought Malik was fine. I know he wanted to be terrific. Let's go down to the field, and I know Corey Curtis has QB1 here for Tennessee.
Yes, I'm down here with Will Levis. Will in street clothes today. You know, it's quite an opportunity for you this year, and I would imagine it's an exciting one when the head coach says he wants to take you up to a 70% in completion percentage.
No, I mean, he's got high standards for all of us, and we wouldn't want to have it any other way. I know that I've got it in me. I just got to come to work every day looking to get better and keep leading these guys. These past few weeks of camp have been an awesome opportunity for that, and I feel like we've all taken advantage of it. So 70%, it's a really good number to look forward to, and hopefully we can get it done.
Big key to that, I think you said, was doing the boring stuff.
100%. Yeah, no, it's not getting bored doing the boring thing. I've said it a few times, and I'll continue to say it. I think that that's been a big learning process for me throughout camp, is understanding how this offense works and how the playbook works and how certain throws can open up more for you down the road. So, you know, taking what they give you and not being bored, taking the boring throw.
Playing quarterback in the NFL can be a harrowing job. Awfully big for you to have Bill Callahan hired, J.C. Latham drafted, Lloyd Cushenberry brought in. They invested heavily to protect you.
100%. No, it's really cool seeing the investments that the team's made on both sides of the ball, and it means that they got some confidence in me, which, you know, I got to take that every day with me to work and work even harder for them. So we've got a bunch of great guys in the locker room. I feel like we've already started to gel and to understand that we got a special group. So, you know, hats off to the organization for putting together a really good group of guys.
I can't have you here without asking you about Will Levis, number 8.
Yeah.
For those of you not in the Nashville market, you may not know that Hellmans and Will teamed up on an ad campaign this week, releasing a cologne, which actually you can buy, and the money goes to youth villages and Special Olympics.
100%, yeah, really, really cool opportunity for us to not only have some fun, but also, you know, make sure that it goes towards a good cause. So shout out to Special Olympics and Youth Villages Foster Care, and yeah, just bringing laughs to people, bringing joy, and making them smell good too. Just check it out.
It's sold out. Is there anything available?
I think we're going to continue to do some drops. I don't know what the stock looks like, but hopefully everyone that wants them can get their hands on it.
All right, that's Will Levis,
Thank
number 8, and he has promised us, Paul, it smells great.
It does. It really does. Give it a try for sure.
I mean, Corey, there's nothing like eau de mayo. And I have read where teammates have said, surprising to them, they like the smell. So off we go. Will Levis trying to capitalize, hoping now his defense can get going and get involved here and slow down the Seattle offense.
Yeah, this is back-to-back drives after they went 3 and out on back-to-back. They had touchdown. Now Howell back to work once again. Now that ball was put on the ground. I think they're going to rule it a catch and a fumble out of bounds. Yes, so a non-traditional way of getting a first down, but the Seahawks passing offense continues to click.
Yeah, it's the proper call too, because the catch is made downfield. And that's a tough one now, Paul. Did he come down with control and able to make a football move? I think during the regular season, Tennessee would want that to have, you know, somebody take a good look at that one. I think they are now.
There we go.
I'm not sure that he was able to come down and make that extra action. Looks to me like this may come back and be incomplete. That was number 38 for the Seattle Seahawks, Brady Russell from Colorado, unable to really secure it.
This review is sponsored by Hughes and Coleman.
Tennessee is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
This review is sponsored by Hughes and Coleman, the official injury lawyers of the Titans. If you've been injured, call 800-800-4600 to schedule your free consultation with the team who has called Tennessee and Kentucky home for over 3 decades. They're taking a look to see if this was a catch or not.
Dallas, it's great.
Good challenge just before the break by Tennessee head coach Brady Russell, because that was not a catch, or by Brian Callahan, because Brady Russell did not catch that ball.
And I think the reason was, as he's starting to make the move, the ball pops out, he's never able to actually secure it. See, when he brings it down and he's not able to actually tuck it away, I think that's what went against him. Because he made the catch, had it, and was making the move when the ball popped out, but because of the lack of security, they overturned it.
Sam Howell stays hot inside the 20-yard line. He's hit 7 of his last 8 passes. That one to Chenault. It'll be first down from the 12.
He's doing a nice job of finding the gaps. Receivers are getting into those openings, and the ball is being delivered crisply to them with a chance for them to run after the catch. See, able to make the catch, Chenault, and turn upfield. And Paul, when LaVisca Chenault came out of Colorado, I thought he had a chance to be a star in this league. Big, strong, physical, fast receiver. You could use him on reverses, the whole deal. Still trying to find his niche here in the NFL.
That linebacker blitz that had been getting home against the Niners and early against the Seahawks not working, but that's a big hit at the line of scrimmage on Holani. Isaiah Eiton, one of those defensive linemen trying to be around for the 53, made that play.
Big guy who finished up at Rutgers, but had played at Ole Miss, Northern Colorado, Hutchinson Junior College before he finished up at Rutgers. Makes a nice play there, number 76 in blue.
How about that journey? Ole Miss to Rutgers for the last 3 seasons. We see that so many times now.
How about that move to Northern Colorado? That's a heck of a jag. Wonder if he played for Ed McCaffrey there, who was the head coach for a short time.
There you go. People might know that last name. 2nd down 10. Toss sweep. McIntosh has a lane inside the 10, but it closed quickly. He gets down to the 7. The ball came out. And they're saying that he was down before the ball came out to bring up 3rd down. Otis Reese, Corey talked about him at the top, the former SEC safety, trying to make the team as a linebacker, just like he did last year.
Yeah, and he's actually increased his weight. Corey talked about him being 215 pounds. He wanted to come into camp over 225. Some of these guys, it's hard to hold that weight, but he parlays it with speed, and that's how he shows up and makes plays. I'm keeping an eye on Jarvis Brownlee, number 29. Had a little bit of a tough series. Let's see if he can get that shaken off and get back at it.
Rookie corner out of Louisville. Howell steps up, penalty marker down just as Howell goes down at the 9. Isaiah Eiton once again. He's having a nice end of this series.
Yeah,
he's checking in on the flag.
Starting to stack some plays together, isn't he? Looks like offensive face mask. Might have been one of the offensive linemen getting underneath a defender rushing quarterback.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 66. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a 4th down.
That's McClendon Curtis, number 66 with Seattle, who played his college ball here in this state at Chattanooga, who ended up getting the call against him.
Extra importance for the rookie Eiton to make plays here.
Right
Played
there.
at Rutgers.
That's where it happened.
Because as we talked about, Marlon Davidson, who was a defensive lineman in front of him, tore his biceps during the joint practices with Seattle this week. He's out for the season, so that spot is available. Jason Myers on to attempt the field goal from 27 yards out. Missed his extra point. That came in the 1st quarter.
Notice Tennessee didn't take the penalty, so go ahead and kick it. Let's get the ball back on offense.
3 points added to the Seattle side of the board. 5:04 left. Seahawks on top of the Titans. 9-0. This is the Titans Network presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Titans fans gear up for the new season with the Foolish Club, the Tennessee Titans official wine club. Join today to receive exclusive premium wines handcrafted in Napa Valley, perfect for your game day celebrations. Membership not only elevates your wine experience, but also supports the Titans Foundation, driving positive change in our community. Visit foolishclub.com to join us and celebrate in true Titan style.
Love that. I love the name of that. You remember why they called them the Foolish Club, right? Everybody said they were fools to put their money into a new league, all the new owners, and they adopted it as a rallying cry and became the Foolish Club, and look where they are now.
Here's Jackson from the 2. Remember, he took one back 63 yards against San Francisco. Got a hole there. Penalty marker comes raining in, actually 2 of them, as he got out to the 40. I was going to comment on how well blocked that was, Charles, but a potential hold.
Maybe a bit too well blocked.
Would be a return of 38 yards, and Craig Rolstad has been busy here tonight in the 1st half.
One thing about Jackson, he sees it, he goes. He doesn't hesitate.
During the return holding, receiving team number 52.
Yep.
That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down, Tennessee.
Rookie 7th-round linebacker out of Miami, James Williams there.
Making the conversion from safety his entire time at the University of Miami. First time he played linebacker, Paul, was in the run-up to the draft when he played it at the Senior Bowl. They like his aggressiveness because he was a monster-sized safety while playing for the Hurricanes.
As planned, Malik Willis got the first quarter and then a little bit more. Mason Rudolph playing in the second quarters and the fourth. Brian Callahan telling us yesterday he does have the edge in this race. He would be the second quarterback as it stands right now. They just wanted to give Malik a chance there. Off the right side is Julius Chestnut. And Charles, one of the reasons Mason Rudolph has the edge right now is he's 29 years old. This is his 7th season. He has played a lot of football, not only in the NFL with 14 starts, but also going back to his time at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and it led to some great quotes from Brian Callahan about him. Talked about how comfortable he is, but he can play fast. He loves the fact that he's still open to being coached on footwork and timing. He doesn't think he has it all as a veteran. And he has some gamer in him. Showed that in Pittsburgh with how he finished down the stretch and helped get the Steelers into the playoffs last year.
Julius Chestnut gets it again. Little hesitation. That worked well. Well done, Chestnut. The stop and start got him out to midfield. Brian Callahan told us he has separated himself as the best runner after Spears and Pollard. That time he gets 23.
But look at that, blocked well, and then downfield, he got a receiver with the extra block. And normally the first 5 to 7 yards, that's on the running back in the offensive line. If you get a big run like this, that means your wide receivers are involved in the blocking as well. Corey Curtis, hang tough. I want to get to you after this play, sir.
Chestnut battling Hassan Haskins to be that next back after Spears and Pollard. Another hesitation move. This time he just gets out to the 50 for a gain of 1. And Corey, come on in.
Corey, I want you to talk to us a little bit about this running back situation. Paul teed it up early in the ball game. This third running back is becoming very intriguing for the Titans, isn't it?
Yeah, it's becoming a little more challenging because Hassan Haskins isn't just a good special teams player. He might be a core 4 special teams player. But Julius Chestnut has such great balance, and he's a big back, and you saw him there. He's able to change speeds a little bit. And the thing I love about him, he's the ultimate team player. This is a guy who had a chance to transfer from Sacred Heart and make some money and want to stay with his team. He's a good dude.
And while we're talking running backs, another one creeps in there. Well done by Jabari Small. Undrafted rookie free agent out of Tennessee. That's enough for a Titans first down. And he also has serious thoughts of making this team.
Yeah, he kind of went Tears for Fears on us for all you fans of 80s music. Don't you forget about me. Look at him right there, posts right up in the ball right there when he turns around. Does a nice job of enveloping it and then getting upfield for a little bit of additional yardage. Another guy who was similar to what Corey described with Julius Chestnut. Team first, anything you need from me, I can do it. Always dependable and ready to go is Jabari Small.
Small again. Well, he was at high speed right away, absorbs a hit there as he gets out to the 32-yard line. And Charles, he's somebody who's used to success on this field. Almost ran for 200 yards at Tennessee when he played on this field in the Music City Bowl.
Yeah, he really got after it in that one. And look at him going to go fast now. Nick Holtz, offensive coordinator. Brian Callahan, play caller, changing the tempo and increasing it for Tennessee.
Not quite going to get that play off with a 2-minute warning. For the first time, the Tennessee Titans offense is clicking. It's actually the second time they've been inside of Seahawks territory. We'll see if they get points here on the Titans Network, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Two-minute warning here in the first half. Seattle, the only team that scored, up on top of Tennessee by 9. But right now the Titans threatening on the 34-yard line. And one reason, Charles, the running backs, especially Jabari Small and Julius Chestnut, have come alive.
Yeah, starting to impose their will a little bit. And right there, that's Randy Jordan, the new running backs coach here in Tennessee. He knows how to speak Callahan very well. All right? Played and worked under Bill Callahan previously in the NFL and in college in Nebraska. And then now he comes here and works under Brian Callahan, the new head coach in Tennessee. Randy Jordan, an excellent running backs coach, last 10 years in Washington.
Rudolph almost picked off there. It looked like he thought Kinsey was going to go outside. He went inside, and they're lucky that one wasn't picked.
They are fortunate on that one. Everyone has to figure out exactly what the reads are. Some of these reads are made on the run depending on what the coverage is. If the quarterback sees it one way and the receiver sees it another, oftentimes the beneficiary, the guys on defense. Tennessee fortunate there.
Tennessee converting 2 out of 5 times on 3rd down here. One time Malik Willis got it on a well-designed and executed quarterback draw. We'll see what they have on 3rd and 4. 4-man rush. Rudolph stands in. Now in trouble. He'll keep it himself. And he gets out near a 1st down. It looks like he's going to be right there.
A little bit short, I think he's going to be. And I'm pretty sure Tennessee goes for it here.
All 3 timeouts left. 4th down and less than a yard coming up. 137, 136 and counting.
Now, it'd be interesting to see what they go with, because in game 1, Will Levis scored a touchdown on a sneak on short yardage. Here in this game, Malik Willis got a 1st down on short yardage on a sneak. Is that in Mason Rudolph's game? Is that something that they want to do right now?
They're going to call timeout and chat about it. Brian Callahan telling us yesterday with his quarterback Mason Rudolph in there. We talked about the experience he has with 41 starts at Oklahoma State, 14 starts in the league. I said, where does that experience show up? And he said, at the line of scrimmage, because every time he gets there, I can tell he has a plan.
Yeah, and he's not altered by what he sees. He's not confused by different things that show up. He'll read something pre-snap, and if it rotates into something else post-snap, he has an answer for that as well. Paul, his first start at Oklahoma State as a freshman came against Baylor, who I think was in the top 10 at the time, maybe even the top 5. Late in the season, because they ran out of quarterbacks. They wanted to redshirt him. They took the red shirt off of him week 10, week 11. He played in that game and then beat Oklahoma the very next week. He's not fazed by much.
See what he has here on 4th and less than a yard. That's Julius Chestnut behind him. Quarterback sneak. See, he wanted to go off the right side. Looks like he got just enough. Yes, he did, to keep that drive rolling. And that was the start of something, Charles, because he ended up as not only the all-time winningest quarterback at Oklahoma State, but also the all-time leading passer.
And Paul, that sneak emphasized what you just talked about. He has a plan.
There you go.
Because he didn't just get behind the center and hope that there was a hole. He hesitated to count, saw the gap, and then he went.
Nice pocket over the middle. Kinsey, 1st down, Tennessee to the 15, and he's not done. 3 Seahawks bring him down. 1st down to the quarterback sneak, then on the dart over the middle. Clock stops in the timeout, 42 seconds left.
I like what you talked about, because look at the pocket. That's the first thing you said. Yeah, he got pressured late, but he had already made the decision and delivered a strike to Mason Kinsey. Overall, I think Bill Callahan, offensive line coach, will like that pocket for him. Nice crisp route by Kinsey. Ball was there on the break.
So oftentimes we'll hear an offensive coordinator or a head coach talking about it, a nice catch there and a good fight after the catch by Kinsey, how a quarterback will have the game slow down for him, and the fact that he mentioned that he has a good plan at the line of scrimmage. One example of a way the game slows down for a veteran quarterback.
No doubt about it. We just saw it full display right there with Mason Rudolph.
Empty backfield this time. 3 pass catchers to his left, pair to his right. Tennessee still with 1 timeout left. Looking for their first points of the half. Nice catch. Westbrook-Akine inside the 5 and into the end zone. The strike and the run after the catch for Tennessee's first points from 15 yards out.
Paul, a plan is a good idea. You know what's even better? The guy who takes the plan and turns it into even more. Caught it on the quick strike, the quick slant, and then was physical about running through 3 other Seahawks to get to the end zone. Nick Westbrook-Akine has found a real home here in Tennessee, and he may be the 4th receiver, but he may be one of the better 4th receivers in the NFL.
Now over 1,200 yards receiving in the regular season, just continues to make this team. And as Brian Callahan said yesterday, just be Mr. Reliable and dependent at every single wide receiver spot. Like the work after the catch there that time, too.
Yeah, that was where he just, you know, it's easy to say, oh, he really wanted it. But the determination, being physical as a receiver, and everything he does allowed him to pinball his way into the end zone. And, Paul, you remember at Indiana, prior to his knee injury, he was talked about being a 2nd-round receiver in the league. Ended up being undrafted, but has found his way here in Nashville.
Nick Folk right down the middle. Mason Rudolph to Nick Westbrook-Akine. Smiles with Tennessee's first touchdown of the night. Football is back, and it should be an exciting year at Nissan Stadium. Don't miss your chance to watch the Titans as they take on the Bengals, Packers, Jets, Patriots, and Vikings. Scan the QR code to learn more. Presented by SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Titans. Like the comfort level that Mason Rudolph had there in the pocket a couple of times there. You could tell he was coming back to his second or third receiver.
Yeah, I think that calm demeanor, because of the confidence he has in what he's seen in his time in the NFL. You know, you actually play faster, Paul, when the game does slow down, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Meaning that you have the confidence to go ahead and cut it loose and do it. You're not hesitant in your reads. You're not hoping, you're not saying the receiver has to be flat out open before I throw it. He's throwing it with anticipation and pace.
Looking like a guy who started the last 3 regular season games and won them as his team. The Steelers needed to have them to get into the postseason.
They'll always love him in the Steel City for that, because he jockeyed them into the playoffs last year down the stretch.
Before they lost there in the first round there at Buffalo from the goal line. This is Young. Hops out, keeps his feet out to the 27-yard line. Seattle has 3 timeouts left, 33 seconds remaining on the clock, and now they lead by 2. It's been Sam Howell the entire way, the third-year quarterback out of North Carolina. Spent his first 2 seasons with Washington. In fact, started every game there last year. And Sam jogs out again. He had a stretch there, Charles. First quarter into the second, where he hit 6 consecutive throws, including a touchdown pass, and I would imagine they'll cut him loose here.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the starts last year, Paul. How many times did he throw the football? I mean, an incredible amount of yardage on a team that was pretty average overall, and he took a lot of sacks in doing so.
Titans bring 4. Howell far sideline. Off the fingertips inside of Titans territory. Trey Avery with the coverage. He was the one that was on the wrong side of the touchdown pass, so good to see him bounce back. Clock stops 28 seconds until halftime.
Nice job by Avery understanding where he was on the field and using the sideline as an assisting defender for him. Press him into the sideline. Yeah, go up and catch it if you want to. No room for you to come down in bounds. Good body positioning by Avery.
One of those undrafted free agents a couple of years ago who just sticks around. This is his 3rd camp with the Titans. 2nd and 10 now, 28 seconds left. Fake the draw, flushed out to his right. He could keep it himself. He does so and gets out of bounds just as he crossed the 30-yard line. Clock stops right now with 20 seconds left. 5-yard gain. They do have all 3 timeouts left. Rashad Weaver there to chase him out of bounds. Again, no starters playing tonight for Tennessee on either side of the ball. Brian Callahan making that choice after hard work against Seattle on Wednesday and Thursday. He said my starters basically had a full game experience in those 2 days, so we give them the rest here tonight and see which backups and which 3rd stringers should be around when they cut down to 53 a week from Tuesday. Howell looks off over the middle, a little behind his man, but the catch made at the 46-yard line. Clock stops, 14 seconds left. That's Jake Bobo.
And Denard Wilson wants to be aggressive at all times, whether he brings extra defenders at the quarterback or not. Still line up in man coverage and challenge receivers. And that time, Gabe Judy Lowry out of Tennessee, an undrafted free agent. Receiver gained a step on him, able to make that catch.
Spent a lot of time working with defensive backs in the NFL, Charles. In fact, the last 12 years, Ravens, Eagles, Jets, Rams, and as he told you and you pointed out earlier, he's been doing everything possible for this opportunity that he's coveted as a D coordinator. This is his first go.
Multiple times he's been a passing game coordinator. Now full responsibility for all aspects of the defense.
See how aggressive they are now on this part of the field. 14 seconds left. They drop 7. Howell, Pat steps up, finds an open man, and he ducks up to the 38-yard line. That's Winston. He scored the touchdown earlier. 8 seconds left. They called timeout to stop the clock. And they still have timeouts to go there for Tennessee.
Now this will be interesting to see what they want to call over there. Ryan Grubbs, the first-year coordinator coming out of the University of Washington, played for a national championship out last year. What he and Mike McDonald want to do they want to go ahead and press it towards the end zone? Or do you want to try and get one more shot in there and then see how your field goal operation works? Because in preseason, you want to see everything.
So right now, that would be about a 56-yard attempt. 8 seconds left and a timeout. See if they can get closer here. Howell has a touchdown pass. Mason Rudolph has a touchdown pass. Flushed out to the sideline. A diving attempt, and that is a catch made. 3 seconds left. They do get closer for that field goal attempt. And that's a nice diving grab by Brady Russell. Remember, he had the drop earlier in this quarter.
Almost in the same spot where he had the drop. You know, almost the same point on the field, same area. And now that allows Seattle to get their field goal kicker out there as they try and put more points on the board as we head to the half.
So from the right hash, this will be a field goal attempt from 48 yards out from Jason Myers. Seattle already up 2. Missed an extra point earlier, but then he made good on a field goal here in the second quarter. His 48-yarder to end the first half was never in doubt. His second field goal puts Seattle on top 12-7 as they jog to the halftime locker room. A halftime that feels a whole lot different on the Tennessee side. And Brian Callahan, after Mason Rudolph led a touchdown drive there late in that second quarter, with Nick Westbrook-Akine scoring that one touchdown, caught a quick slant and then some strong running across the stripe. That's how Tennessee got their one touchdown here tonight. Corey Curtis with Brian Callahan.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Malik Willis gets the start. He gave you about a quarter and a half. What did you think about how number 7 operates?
He did a good job. We put ourselves in some bad spots. We had 3 straight penalties that put us in long yardage, 2 third downs that went to long yardage, and then a holding on an early down. So we didn't have a chance to get much success on some of those. But other than that, I thought he did a good job operating, moved the ball down the field, just didn't get any points, which obviously that's the name of the game. You got to score some touchdowns.
A guy that you have brought up in your post-practice press conferences is Jalen Harrell, and being excited to watch him play. He gave you something there.
Sure did. That's a good thing to see. Let's see if he can keep it up.
Jalen Harrell had a pass deflection and a sack there in the first half. Good luck in the second half,
Thank
Coach.
you very much.
All right, that's Titans head coach Brian Callahan. His Tennessee Titans trail at the half, 12-7 against the Seattle Seahawks. We've got more coming up at the half. A day in the life of Tajay Spears.
The numbers presented by the Tennessee Lottery. The main number, Tennessee leads 12-7 as we are. Tennessee trails 12-7 as we head into the third quarter. Titans underwhelming offensively there in the first half. Charles, where do your eyes go?
Yeah, I think it goes to the third downs, because last week they did a really nice job with that on offense. But I do think they got a spark when Mason Rudolph came into the ball game in the second quarter. That's when they moved the ball best and most effectively.
And Mason Rudolph made the most of his one drive, Charles, coming in there and putting that dart right on to Nick Westbrook-Akine. In all the number 8 fans,
yes,
wanted to see Will Levis tonight. Not going to happen.
Don't worry, you'll see him. You'll see him in Chicago in the opener, and then throughout the rest of the regular season. Keep that jersey, young man. Keep it.
And Will Levis made that quick turn from talented project, wondering when will the time be his. It became his time in the second half of last year, and now he is officially the man. You got to peek at him with the joint practices this week.
Yeah, he looks the part. Competitive, tough guy, learning how to run the offense the way Brian Callahan wants it run, trying to do everything that they've asked of him on offense, and he loves to play the game of football.
Out across the 30-yard line and skipping out to the 36. Another nice return by Jaquan Jackson. You asked to see a little more from him. With penalty marker is down. A lot more of that in the first half tonight than we saw last week against San Francisco. That would be a return by Jackson of 34 yards.
Yeah, I want to see him more in the pass game now. That's the next step for him in this Tennessee offense.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 36. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Yeah, there's Colt Anderson, the special teams coach with the headset on. Not real happy about that penalty there. They played pretty well on special teams last week. And I think overall he was pleased, because when I asked him about it, he said number one thing is we competed. Loved how we competed last week in San Francisco. And in this week, wanted to see that coverage continue to evolve. Last week they kicked the ball down the middle on kickoff coverage. He wants to try and angle it a little bit more when they're covering tonight.
See if Mason Rudolph can make it back-to-back touchdown drives there. That won't help. Pretty leaky up front on Jabari Small. Knights, the linebacker, in to make that stop. Brings up second down 11.
Yes, Leroy Watson, number 72, being upset after the play. The offensive lineman who had played in Cleveland last year for Bill Callahan when he's offensive line coach there. Leroy is a former tight end turned offensive tackle out of University of Texas San Antonio, UTSA. Felt like he missed his block on that one based on his expression after the play.
Rudolph. Too high. Missed his intended receiver, and that was number 80, Bryce Oliver. All-time leading touchdown scorer from the wideout position at Youngstown State. And that'll set up 3rd down 11.
And that would have been a heck of a catch by him as well, because DJ James, the rookie out of Auburn, was draped all over his upfield shoulder.
On the opposite sideline, Charles, Mike McDonald, the new head coach for Seattle, knows all about Mason Rudolph. He was the D coordinator in Baltimore last year. End of the season when Rudolph came in a game they had to have and completed 18 out of 20 in a Steelers win. This is 3rd down 11. Sets up the screen, small, across the 10. Good patience, and then the burst. Good enough for a Tennessee 1st down. He gets 16 yards.
And the patience you just referenced, I believe, set up the block that sprang him. Watch as he catches the ball. There's the patience, the hesitation, and right there, you see what he set up? That allowed number 62, Corey Levin, to come from inside out and make the block. Right there is what you're talking about, Paul. That patience, let the block develop, then the acceleration, and picks up a 1st down. Smart running by Small, and really good hustle by Levin.
Brian Callahan telling us yesterday he really likes 2 things about him: the way he can cut and the way he can accelerate. And we saw that acceleration right there, picking up the first. Little skip, avoids a tackle for a loss and picks up 1. Each of the last 3 years, Charles, at Tennessee, the undrafted free agent was either the leading rusher or the 2nd leading rusher for the Vols.
Yeah, he understood his role because different guys would emerge. Other guys wouldn't be. Remember, Jalen Wright emerged big for Tennessee last season and kind of took over the number 1 running back spot, ran for 1,000 yards, averaged darn near 8 yards a carry. But Jabari Small never said anything, just kept working and took his opportunities when they came.
So far at running back, Charles, we have seen mostly Small and Chestnut. Now we get a look at Hassan Haskins. Checks out to the right side. Rudolph keeps it himself to the left. Runs out of bounds near the 30-yard line. That's not the way he wants to make a living. Has a little chuckle about it. Better than throwing it into coverage, though.
No, he understood what he was seeing and just exited and got what he could. Would have been interesting if that's Malik Willis seeing the same exact thing and see him jackrabbit to the corner, because he has a chance to actually turn it upfield and gain additional yardage.
Mike McDonald, one of the many new first-year head coaches in the league, D coordinator for Baltimore last year. Recently was the defensive coordinator at Michigan, and Hassan Haskins, a number of players here knew him in that role as well when they were together in Ann Arbor. 3rd down 7. Rudolph wants to set up the screen again, and this time it's not going to work. Exact same play, this time to Hassan Haskins, and this time Seattle defense was ready.
Yeah, that was Patrick O'Connell out of Montana all over that play. Sniffed it out and was right there.
So Rudolph will jog to the sideline, and he's expected to play the entire 3rd quarter, and then Malik Willis will come back in and play the 4th quarter. Malik took care of the 1st and the early part of the 2nd quarter for the Tennessee offense. D. Williams back to receive. Ty Zintner on to punt for Tennessee.
And for Tennessee fans, Ryan Stonehouse, they believe, is pretty much ready. I think they're just being cautious with him, Paul, the punter. You know what I mean? We may see him in the next game, or we may see him regular season, but he should be ready to go when it's all said and done.
This is the Titans Network presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. That was a punt of 47 yards. Welcome back to the Tennessee Titans Television Network presented by Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company. Just inside of 12 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Tennessee has had the ball once here in this 3rd quarter, and they trail Seattle 12-7. We have upgraded here in the booth, as you can see, in between Charles and I, the new
we moved up the food chain, haven't we?
Yes, we both need to be on our best behavior right now.
It'd be a good idea if we want to come back.
Chad Brinker is the president of football operations here in Tennessee. First of all, thanks for making time for us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I know last year you came in as the assistant general manager. As we take a peek now at the Seattle offense, they run right away up the middle. Nice job there by the interior of that Titans defense. But from assistant general manager to president of football operations seems to me like a pretty nice jump here from year 1 to year 2. What does your new job entail?
Yeah, it is. It's a great opportunity for me. You know, I look at my role as just I'm here to help bring our entire football staff together and make sure they have everything they need to succeed in their respected roles. And so I'm involved in a lot of things. You know, my background is as an evaluator, a scout, worked on the salary cap. So I still help Rand Carthon and Brian Callahan in those areas, but my day-to-day responsibilities deals with cap management, data analytics, involved in football information systems, communications, just everything you could think of when it comes to the football operations.
In other words, he's doing more than you and I do.
Oh, without question, each and every day. So, Chad, with all that being said, though, you started with what your background is, football evaluations. I have a feeling that there's still some tape that comes across your desk, and you're taking a look and evaluating as well, having conversations with your GM, Rand Carthon, with your head coach, Brian Callahan, and, of course, everyone in the scouting system.
Yeah, I sure do. I'm heavily involved in all the evaluation, whether it's the preseason scouting to the in-season scouting, as well as the draft. You know, the lifeblood of any organization runs through the draft. So I play a part in that as well. And, you know, I'm here to support Rand. I'm here to support the staff. You know, I have a long history, about, you know, a decade and a half of evaluation. So I'm very fortunate to be able to do that. So I got to find time throughout my day to make sure I block off, you know, 3-4 hours to make sure I get through the tape.
Yeah, a little warmer here, Paul, than it was in Green Bay when he was doing all that evaluating.
At 13 years in Green Bay, a penalty there goes against the Titans, so it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Seattle offense. That is a new quarterback in for Seattle in P.J. Walker. Sam Howell had gone the entire way up to this point. So I'm glad you bring up your background in Green Bay. You were a very good running back at Ohio. You came up through the scouting world in the personnel department. You know that. So you've got this old school part of your background. You also very much new school, as you have created the analytics program here in Tennessee. So how do you bring together all of that traditional football with, as I said, the new school part you're bringing now?
Yeah, I think you start with the foundation, and I'm very fortunate that I grew up in the organization that I grew up in as an evaluator. I think that during my time there was 8 or 9 of us that either led an organization or is currently leading an organization. We were all in the draft room together, so I was around some special people where I got a chance to really learn how to be a complete personnel man. And, you know, when it comes to the analytics, you know, over the years, I just started to look how the game is modernizing, how you can use some of the analytics in your roster building strategies and in-game management, situational football, and just got really intrigued by that and started to build that into my toolbox as well. So it's a balance, but it all starts with the experiential intuition. I mean, we can't forget that, you know, forget the collective wisdom of the coaches and the scouts. You know, that's an important part of this. So there's instinct involved, there's pattern recognition involved. So that's the foundation of what we do. But if you can add the exploratory analytics to it, or the historical and what history tells us, plus the predictive tools, and maybe as we move forward, you'll see some AI really popping up here in the National Football League moving forward. When you add those 3 things together, you're hoping to make better decisions. But at the end of the day, the human makes the decision. We can't forget that.
And meanwhile, Chance Campbell continues to show up here at linebacker for the Titans. That tackle he made there brings up 3rd down and 7. We'll see what P.J. Walker can do here. The Titans have been showing a lot of linebacker blitz under new defensive coordinator Denard Wilson, and I believe that a timeout is called, yes, by Seattle, so we can turn our heads away from the play here a little bit and get back to the conversation, Charles.
Yeah, and you know, as we continue to talk about these things, you mentioned all the things that you're responsible for, all the things that you oversee. Building relationships with the people who are running those different departments, that has to be a big part of what you do, because I don't care what we're in. You mentioned the human element. Relationships drive everything, don't they? Yeah,
I look at my position as a position of ultimate service. I'm here to service our head coach, our general manager, and every single department head. You know, we're about creating leaders within our organization, empowering people to do their jobs, and my job is to help lift them up, give them the tools that they need to succeed in their roles, and I really look at it that way. That's what true leadership is service to others.
Take a look here on 3rd down and 7. Will allow you to catch your breath here for a moment. Empty backfield.
Yeah, right now he's looking at it. That evaluator is coming out in about the different guys that are out there. Who's going to make that play and have a chance to make this team?
Titans bring 4. Walker steps up into a pocket, and down he goes. Titans defensive line stepping up there when they had to have it on 3rd and pass. And that's one of the rookies, Harrell, out of Michigan. They had 2 linebackers taken in the 7th round. And he's in the backfield right there to make the play in a loss of 5.
Yeah, Chad, and listen, him coming from right there, what'd you see as an evaluator?
Yeah, this is Harrell. He's having a really nice camp for us. We drafted him in the 7th round out of Michigan, University of Michigan. Really good team there, obviously. But, that was just a power rush. He came off the ball. He plays really hard. He's one of those guys that really tries to run through the defender, and he gives a lot of good second effort, and he kind of fell back into that play.
We'll see if Jaquan Jackson gets to bring this one back. Bounces at the 11. We had a penalty marker come in there as the punt was sailing to Jackson, 52 yards.
So, Chad, I hope it's okay, because we're going to go to break right now, all right? Is it okay if you stay one more
with
us?
absolutely.
Because
Love
a couple
to do
more
that.
things. Because, Paul, there's also something in his background that I'm not going to say right now.
I think I know where you're going.
But I think we definitely need to bring out for people, and we'll do that after we get done here.
That's a tease.
Can't wait.
Tease for Chad as well. And let's see if we are going to break. That may have been... They may tease us with that as well.
Yeah, they may want to keep it rolling.
Penalty on Seattle. It'll be 4th down.
So it looks like we're going to have to do this again.
There we go.
Well, listen, this isn't the dynamic kickoff, Chad. But what are you thinking so far from what you've seen from the new dynamic kickoff that's been introduced? And I don't know if any of us have any idea of how it's going to play in the regular season, because special teams coaches, they're not going to tip their hand now, are they?
No, they're not. I think we're all going through a learning experience here in the preseason, trying to figure out what's going to work, how to play this play. It's going to be exciting. That's what the NFL wants. There was way too many touchbacks over the years, and they want to put the kickoff return back into pro football, and I think it's going to bring some excitement to our game again.
In the Super Bowl, there were 13 kickoffs.
Yeah.
0 were returned.
You were an undrafted free agent to camp once, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, in 2003 with the New York Jets.
There
so
you go.
I totally understand what these guys are going through.
Were you out there in special teams a lot in situations like this?
Yeah, I did. I did kick returns, punt returns, and as a gunner on the punt team, ran down on the kickoff coverage, and that was the way you got to make the team in the National Football League as an undrafted free agent.
Jaquan Jackson was drafted late. I thought he might turn upfield there. Makes it out to the 24-yard line. 57-yard punt, 13-yard return. Charles and I will be back with the president of football operations of the Titans, Chad Brinker, and the Titans with the ball right after this. It is a good sign when that sun that was causing it to be 96 degrees to kick off has given way to a very pretty moon tonight here in Nashville. About halfway through the 3rd quarter. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Paul Burmeister, Charles Davis in the middle. Chad Brinker, he is the president of football operations for the Titans here, and he was kind enough to come back here for a second segment. And when you first came on, as I believe Mason Rudolph. No, it is Malik Willis, who is now back at quarterback. He played the first quarter as well. We talked about the relationship you have and the work you do with head coach Brian Callahan and general manager Rand Carthon as they run the ball right up the middle, not much there. Let's take it a level or 2 or 3 above to controlling owner Amy Adams Strong.
Let's take it to the ultimate level.
As high as we can possibly get. As you're talking to the head coach and general manager, what about your relationship and dialogue with the owner?
Yeah, vision for this franchise.
Yeah, when we at the beginning of this structure, I sat down with Amy Adams Strunk and just listened to her articulate what was ultimately her vision for this football team as well as this organization. And she really talked about 3 things. There's 3 things that I gained from that conversation with her, and that was she wanted clarity in her structure of the organization. She wanted consistency in performance, and she wanted stability in the organization. The successful organizations in the National Football League over the last 20 or 30 years has stability at the top. Well, that comes with winning, but consistency in the performance, not only on the field but off the field. Philosophically, our processes and our systems, we want to be a draft and develop franchise. That's how we like to approach that. But she also, was kind enough to allow us to go out and spend some money in free agency. I think we have about $282 million committed in cash this year. So she's really supported that, and then ultimately the structure that she created here to allow Rand Carthon to do what he really does well, and that's evaluate build a team, build a roster, work with the coaching staff and the players, and Brian Callahan can focus on the product on the field and just focus on his coaches and allow him to do what he does best, and then I could come in and support the group.
Third down and 13. That was a very nice pass from Willis to undrafted free agent out of Northern Iowa, Sam Schnee, the former running back at Dubuque Senior High School. I know that because that's my old conference.
That's your old conference.
Yes.
Hey, Paul, you used to put the boots in Dubuque, though, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's what we needed to know. Chad, appreciate all of that. And I think that Miss Amy would also be thrilled to know, and she probably already does, that if something happens to the great Coach Dave McGinnis, who is the color analyst for your radio broadcast, with Mike Keefe, who is one of the best in the business, if not the best, that she has a backup radio analyst. You used to do that at Ohio University, your school. You called games for them over multiple years. I'm going to let you and Paul take the rest of this series.
You're going to sit down over there?
And off we go. I'll be right over here. I'll be right over here with a big gulp. You guys go ahead.
What do you remember about that?
Hey, I was with the Ohio Sports Network, and, being a former player there at Ohio University, they had me come in and do some color. I promise you I wasn't any good. I only lasted 2 years, and I moved on.
We know better than that. Go ahead and have some fun here, Paul. Call this game.
So we just saw Malik Willis put it right on Sam Schnee. Second down 2 from the 43.
Yeah,
maybe they give it to a running back. There we go.
There we go. Haskins off the right side, made a cut upfield.
And see, this is what happens. We get penalty markers,
we get a penalty right when we need a big play. That's what we really need right here.
Need another one of those deliveries from Willis to Schnee.
Personal foul, clipping, offense for 64. It's a 15-yard penalty. Second down.
What is your read on the running back situation right now with Haskins and Small and Chestnut?
Well, I'll talk about the first two, Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. I mean, I think we got two dynamic backs. We're really excited to add Tony Pollard to our team, and he's been excellent. Pass pro, catching the ball out of the backfield, running the football, and then Tajay brings another element to it. But we have a battle for the third spot right now between all these backs. Chestnut's having a nice night tonight. Haskins, you got Small. I mean, it's a battle there at the third spot.
See if they can chip away at it here with the run game. Back to the pass. Willis, nice pocket. Boy, that's about perfect. Right on Bryce Oliver at the 48-yard line. And Willis much better here in the second half than he was in the first. Or that is actually Jaquan Jackson, the rookie, for a gain of 23.
Yeah, it was good to see that, we've been playing behind the sticks all night, and it was good to, kind of come out here with this drive and get some momentum, get some things going. And we just ran, a vertical route there down the seam with Jackson, and it was a nice timing by Malik. He delivered it right over top the linebackers and between the safeties for a first down.
And you had to like at the end of it. Carlton Johnson gives him a big pop in the back. Ball stays in possession. Jaquan Jackson.
No doubt. You got to hang on the football in this league.
And what an opportunity that Malik has earned here tonight with the way he has developed and progressed in learning the Brian Callahan system, and really had a strong couple of months. And once again, penalty marker comes in from the back judge.
Yeah, it's been real impressive, just watching the, Coach Callahan in this offense, the operation, the rhythm and timing. I think our quarterback, Will Levis, looks, he's getting better every single day with his footwork and his timing and getting the ball out and knowing where to go with the football. And you saw the development. Mason Rudolph's had a really nice camp, and then Malik continues to get better.
And this time the penalty goes against Seattle, so Tennessee will continue to move further and further downfield.
And we get a defensive holding penalty, Chad, as you well know. It's not always in the secondary. That one appeared to be up front. And why do they get those defensive holds?
Yeah, they try to keep them off the linebackers.
Yeah, those defensive linemen grabbing guys so they can't get up to the next level and block. And they were detected there by the back judge.
I would imagine Malik Willis as well. He saw Mason Rudolph take the team down with his very first drive for the touchdown.
He's motivated here.
We got a little fire lit under him here as we approach the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. Back to the ground game, not much off the right side as they get down to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, one thing that we haven't really hit is the other Callahan, Bill.
Yeah.
Bill Callahan, I mean, arguably the best coach, offensive line coach in the National Football League. He came in, when he came into our building, he put on a clinic. It was like 1 hour of teaching offensive line blocking to our scouts and our staff. And I learned more in that 1 hour than I might have learned in a decade from Bill Callahan. He has his strike system. He knows exactly what he wants. And our young offensive linemen are continuing to improve and get better. So we're real excited to have him.
Yeah, it was interesting to meet Chad. From the backside as he was making the move. A nice rush there by Seattle coming after him from the backside there. That's a tough one trying to get out of the way. That was Jamie Sheriff out of USA, which University of South Alabama in Mobile. See, he's got his back turned to it, and by the time he turns around, it's right there in his face.
Yeah, it was a good call by the defense.
And they wanted to get the ball to the talented undrafted rookie free agent David Martin Robinson, who they're very high on, as you know very well. Hasn't had much of a chance here tonight. And that gets him to 3rd down and 16. Now Malik did convert him 3rd down and long to Schnee just a little bit ago. Pair of wideouts to his right and to his left. Watch out from the backside. Gets away. And a nice job of making something out of nothing. It'll give him something to think about. Another flag came in there at the end of the play. It's a holding against Seattle.
It's going to go against Seattle again. So they're going to keep moving the ball downfield and picking things up. As you're watching this as an organization, do you also have a vision now as you're watching this? Do you see this happening in the new stadium?
Holding.
Oh, it's going to be
Defense.
That's going to be exciting.
The 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
There's a lot of excitement right now in Nashville. It's one of the hottest cities in the country. A lot of people are moving here. You know, the Titans are on the rise. We're excited about what we got going on here, and with the new stadium on the horizon. I mean, this is going to be a fun place. It's a destination spot as is, and if we can get this football team moving in the right direction, put a couple drafts behind us and a couple free agency periods, and continue to build this team to have momentum as we go into that new stadium, this place is going to be rocking.
Yeah, and Paul, you're a Big Ten guy, played quarterback at Iowa. How's it feel standing next to one of the Northwestern Business School guy? And obviously that's not me.
Feeling a little intellectually small? Is that what you're saying?
Don't forget, I went to Tennessee. I wasn't hanging out with those Northwestern guys.
Big hit there from the backfield on Jabari Small, another Tennessee guy right there. But that new stadium, 2 more seasons, and that's where the Titans will set up shop, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's where we'll be. And going back to that
right here.
Big hit. Wow. We're going back to the Northwestern thing. I just finished that program that, you know, within the last 5 years. So it's not like was. So this is, you know, the Green Bay Packers, they supported me, and I really wanted to take things to the next level, and they supported me to go to that business school. I don't know how I got in. I think they felt sorry for me and let me in. I never had a football executive go to Kellogg like that. But,
good signing and touch there to Jaquan Jackson, and another flag. Looks like that'll go against Seattle as well.
That feels horse collar right there at the end of it.
Well, that was pretty. A nice job of stepping up there and delivering. Titans offense on the move. That would be a gain of 18. Don't tell me you commuted from Green Bay to Chicago, did you?
I did, yeah. What I did was their executive MBA program. And
so did you go for concentrated time?
It was every other weekend I drove down there. It was like a 3 or 4 day weekend. We had 1 week intensives, 2 international studies that you had to complete in order to graduate. And it was life-changing. A program like that is really, really special, and it helped me advance things from the analytics side too, because I was learning new technologies that were out there in the corporate world that I was able to bring back into the football world.
See, it all relates back to football, Paul.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Titans are in the Pinnacle scoring zone. Pinnacle Financial Partners, play hard, bank easy, member FDIC. Jabari Small, the tailback, off to the left side. Puts his head down and still fighting. Not quite done. Gets inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line.
Now you were running back. You probably remember those types of dirty, messy, tough runs where you just keep churning and you get a little bit more than what people expect.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't have any wiggle. I couldn't make anybody miss. So I was a straight line guy.
Make sure you make your way, right?
Yeah, you had to make your way. But I think this is fun to watch. You know, particularly all these guys battling for the 3rd spot on this roster. All these guys are competing really hard.
You couldn't make anybody miss. I wasn't accurate enough. Charles, how come you got cut?
Because I couldn't run.
There you go. Makes it hard.
You know, as a defensive back who can't run, that's what you're known as a cut.
And that time Seattle's defense there on 2nd down and 3 to bring up 3rd down and goal. I'd love to see Malik get out of the pocket here a little bit, see if he can find one of those young tight ends. And what would be the go-ahead touchdown here for Tennessee? They've not led here yet tonight. 23 seconds and counting left in the 3rd quarter. The one touchdown they had, a strike from Mason Rudolph to Nick Westbrook-Akine. Brian Callahan, first-year head coach.
I think he's going to let this one go on out.
Yep. Give him some more time to think about it.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
Chad, thank you for taking the time to come up here and spend it with us and educate us more about the Tennessee Titans.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations on you and your new role, and looking forward to continued success for you and the organization.
Yeah, thank you.
Charles and I think are going to stay, but We will allow you to head out now.
Well, we'll find out later because the man's
good.
been in here. We'll get an evaluation later on, Paul.
Chad Brinker, the president of football ops for the Titans. We're back for the fourth quarter after this. Malik Willis has been at his best here in the third quarter on this drive. 5 for 5 for 54 yards. He has the Titans 3rd and goal from the 3. And with his abilities there, patted on the back by the officials there, they're almost ready to go to start the fourth. You could get him outside the pocket. He's a threat, but he's been good from inside the pocket this quarter too.
I think if you're Mike McDonald and Aiden Dury running the defense for Seattle, you'd better have someone on each side that's checking for Malik Willis. You want to have someone here and someone here stay at home in case he wants to get outside the pocket.
Jabari Small, play fake. And they give it to the 5 and going nowhere. Brought down at the 3, Bryce Oliver. Undrafted free agent out of Youngstown State. Malik Willis staying on. No, he's not.
Nope.
Want to go ahead and kick it.
They want to see their field goal operation. Part of this is very simply, it's preseason. You got people in on this operation. How does it work? How does it look? Winning the game, sure, you want that. But you better make sure all the things are working when they get to Chicago for the season opener.
Braden Arvison on for the first time.
Who's holding right now, Paul?
Take a look and see out there.
Because there was talk about Stonehouse possibly holding to get some work. It looks like Zittner, the backup, is still holding.
Yeah, punter is out there. Narvison brings the Titans closer. 12-10 early in the fourth quarter. The Titans now have a pair of scoring drives, and they're down 2. You're watching the Titans Network presented by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Back at Nissan Stadium, where the Titans have pulled within 2. They trail 12-10 in the fourth quarter against the Seattle Seahawks. Time for the results of the X-Poll question tonight. We asked who would lead the Titans in receiving this season, and it was close, but it's Calvin Ridley by 9% over DeAndre Hopkins. And guys, I always say you've got to follow the money. Calvin Ridley did not get $24 million a year to come here and block. I'm with the fans.
It's like he's listening. He's like, that's right.
Well done. Well done, Corey.
I think the important thing is there that those top 3 receivers, Hopkins, Ridley, Boyd, that looks pretty good.
It looks really good. And by the way, on any given Sunday, each one of them can go off for big numbers.
Taking E 7 yards deep. That's D. Williams.
How about Corey, though, following the money?
Yeah.
We might find out he was hanging out with Woodward and Bernstein. He just didn't tell us about it.
I know Calvin Ridley looks happy to be here. 1,000-yard season last year in Jacksonville. His passing game coordinator Nick Holt sitting next to us. I wonder what he's going to do with that chain.
Take it back.
Right.
somebody was sampling it. And he's like, no, I want my chain back. All right, let's see if this Tennessee defense
meanwhile,
can make a play or two. Just a 2-point game at this point.
P.J. Walker continues to be the quarterback. Why not another flag?
False start. Offense, number 85. The 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Second-year player out of Maryland, the tight end Tyler Mabry. So now we get to see how the defense operates within 2 points in the fourth quarter and see which quarterback gets the call to come back out. It was supposed to be Mason Rudolph, but Malik Willis has had it going. And we'll find that out here in just a little bit. First down and 15 now. Play clock down to 5. Up the middle, not much there. Not a single starter out there for the Titans offensively or defensively. Done a nice job up front there. McClendon and the rookie Williams, former safety out of Miami, 7th-round pick. A lot of defensive rookies selected this year, Charles, because even though they did go offense, first round, J.C. Latham, second down 11 here. 5 of the next 6 picks were on defense. We've seen a lot of them out here tonight.
Yeah, addressing team needs, and they wanted to get younger, faster, aggressive, and I think they accomplished that with some of these draft picks.
Double pump going down to catch it on the 38-yard line. He was just guilty of the flag. Mabry now with the catch. Not enough for a first down. Clock continues to tick here early in the fourth quarter. Gain of 9. brings up 3rd down and 2.
All right, this is where that defensive front has to step up now and make a play for this defense. See right there, Shaheem Carter trying to be on the coverage. Just got one step outside, maybe worked inside and caught the ball. Let's see if these guys right here can hold down the line of scrimmage and make a play.
Seahawks have converted only 2 out of 7 times on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2. 4-man rush. Walker incomplete. Just 2 out of 8. Chance Campbell, who else in there to make a play in the backfield?
And that all worked together very well because they had pressure up the middle. Caleb Farley, number 42, came off the edge and did a nice job, and that allowed Chance Campbell to make a quick read because the ball had to come out fast, and almost made another big play tonight. Knocked that one away, and Tennessee should get the ball back.
He's mad at himself, but that would have been a tough one to come up with. He did have the game-ending interception last week against San Francisco. 3rd 3 and out now for Seattle, their first since the first quarter.
Yeah, that's one that if you're Chance Campbell, you got to go to the bench and thank your big guys up front, putting the pressure on, allowing you to make a play.
Jaquan Jackson, rookie out of Tulane, fair catch at the 18-yard line. Punt of 44 yards with no return. 12:45 left in the game. Titans trail Seattle by 2 on the Titans Network, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Time to look at tonight's quarterback comparison, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. We look at Malik Willis there on the right, his numbers on the left. Very good work done in the second half through the air and also on the ground, averaging over 7 yards per carry. Mason Rudolph was strong in a quick touchdown drive late first half, and now he's back in the game.
Yeah, and I thought that Malik Willis' second stint, that was the stint he was looking for. You know, Mason Rudolph now getting his second opportunity, and his first one went pretty well and put a touchdown on the board.
Rudolph, as told to us by Brian Callahan, has the lead in the battle to be the backup quarterback. Trying to hit Sam Schnee. Ball knocked away at the 25-yard line. He almost came up with it, but it's now 2nd down 10.
Paul, he went right into the thorniest part of the field, didn't
he? Yeah.
Right into the middle, right where the linebackers were. Art Pappy Lewis was the head coach at West Virginia University back in the day, and Sam Huff was his all-time great player, middle linebacker in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Hall of Fame. Know what he called that area of the field? The Briar Patch. You better be careful going to the Briar Patch, fellas.
Sam Schnee over 1,000 yards receiving last year in the Missouri Valley at Northern Iowa to lead that conference. 2nd down 10. Ball batted down. He wanted to get it to Oliver, another undrafted free agent. And just like that, Mason Rudolph will face 3rd down and 10. Mike Morris batted that ball down.
Yeah, Morris there. Miles Adams out of Rice, number 95, was also looking to try and assist on it. See right there? Boom. 2 big guys with long reaches making plays there.
But here's one of the differences in evaluation, preseason and regular season. Nick Holtz, the offensive coordinator, sitting just to our left. He doesn't want 3rd and 10
no.
regular season. 3rd and 10 to evaluate Mason, give him these kind of reps.
And evaluate the other players.
There you go.
Who can shake themselves free and present themselves as a target for Mason Rudolph on 3rd and 10.
See if they can block the blitz. That's Oliver. The catch and the run, just enough for the 1st down. Good job with the protection up front. Good decision. Oliver gets the 1st.
And Paul, you know how you used to get your grade sheet when you played? I think he's getting 2 checks here. Check 1 is finding the open spot versus the pressure. It was a blitz, he went to the vacated spot. Check 2 was the catch and understanding where his escape hatch was to get outside and pick up the 1st down. Well done by Bryce Oliver.
Hassan Haskins, the tailback, draft pick out of Michigan in his 3rd season, gets the ball up the middle. And the former Michigan linebacker nowhere to go off to the left side. Does have a 1,000-yard season plus in his time in Michigan coming into the league. And there is Nick Holtz, the new offensive coordinator, was the passing game coordinator last year for Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, and now helping call the plays here with Brian Callahan.
Goes all the way back to high school with Brian Callahan, high school teammate at De La Salle back in California, Northern California, part of that 151-game streak. And Nick Holtz has worked well in the NFL throughout.
Decade plus with the Raiders organization before coaching at UNLV and heading to Jacksonville and then Nashville. Here comes a safety blitz quickly out of the hands, and that's the first time we've seen the big tight ends get the ball. They've been trying all night, and that time it is Thomas Odukoya. His first catch, gain of 8.
And they're talking about the improvement this young man has made from the day he showed up from the Netherlands, played at Eastern Michigan. He's part of that International Pathways program in the NFL where each team has one international player that doesn't count against your roster, et cetera, et cetera. But now they're talking about him being a legitimate threat to make the team. This is no longer just a good story. This is a guy who's really improved, big-time blocker at the point of attack, and now he added a little pass catching on the last play.
In competition with David Martin Robinson and also Steven Stilianos, a couple of undrafted rookies trying to beat him out. Rudolph bouncing around, finds an open space. Penalty marker comes in just as Rudolph goes down at the 38-yard line.
While he was bouncing, I was watching the coverage, and it was tight downfield.
Maybe a little too tight. Could be a hold against Seattle.
Holding. Defense, number 50. A 5-yard penalty, an automatic first down.
DBs for Seattle have been sticky here in the second half, Charles. That's the third time.
Really sticky. So just a little bit too sticky. But for Tennessee, they'll take it. They'll take every one of those penalties. That was Patrick O'Connell, linebacker out of Montana, flagged for that one.
Mike McDonald, defensive coordinator last year in Baltimore, #1 defense in the NFL, where his defensive back coach, Denard Wilson, on the other sideline now is the first-year DC for the Titans. First down and 10 now, trailing by 2 as we approach the 10-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Mason Rudolph has 1 touchdown pass. That came late second quarter. And that's Julius Chestnut. He and Jabari Small have gotten most of the touches for the running backs tonight, with a little bit from Hassan Haskins. And that time Chestnut gets 4. Let's check in with Corey on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, it's going to probably be Chestnut and Haskins the rest of the way. Jabari Small has gone inside to be evaluated for concussion.
Okay, they only had 3 running backs playing tonight, Corey. Thank you, with Spears and Pollard sitting it out. So now it's, as you mentioned, it's Chestnut and it's Haskins. Plenty of time that time. A good throw and catch there for another first down. And a good job of staying on his feet by Jaquan Jackson, the rookie out of Tulane. Strong hands and a good move after the catch.
Paul, you know what I loved about this play from Jaquan Jackson? Watch how he runs the route. Now, when he stops, he can wait for the football, but that's often a recipe for disaster, right? If you have a receiver, just wait for it, Paul. What happens? Defensive backs undercut it.
Yeah.
Watch how he came back at the point of attack, right? At the catch point, and snatched it out of the air so the defensive back couldn't make a play on it. That's a veteran route right there by Jaquan Jackson.
And that's exactly what Brian Callahan said. He looks less and less like a rookie all the time. Come back to the ball. Good coaching point. And now to the running game. Hassan Haskins batters it up inside. That's a positive gain on first down. Picks it up between 4 and 5. Tennessee is not led tonight, trailing by 2. They're now within field goal range, and they're thinking touchdown here. Hassan Haskins in this race to be the third back. He is the one who has established himself as the best special teams player for Brian Callahan. Julius Chestnut, as Callahan told us, is the better runner. And a couple more flags come in.
I think Tennessee thought that they moved, right? Seattle
Ball start.
They moved to forget it.
Offense, number 76. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Jaquan Jackson, the rookie draft pick for Brian Callahan. A couple of grabs here in the second half. That one just now, a couple of plays ago, was nice for a first down. And the fact that they are even considering maybe 6 or 7 wide receivers on the roster, as Brian Callahan said, well, it's a conversation now, is a huge compliment to that group.
It certainly is, as is the idea that maybe there's a 4th tight end.
Yeah.
It's another conversation I'm not sure they expected to have when camp began.
Rudolph, back shoulder fade and put it right where he wanted to. Mason Kinsey wanted the flag. He also wanted to catch that ball.
Yeah, he's looking for the flag, but I know exactly what Tyke Tolbert, the wide receiver coach, is going to tell him. You know what it is, Paul?
Catch it.
Play through it.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to play through it. Don't look for it later. Make your move, be physical, and go catch the football.
Mason Kinsey, 5th camp here, trying to make the Titans team.
And normally he does make that catch.
Exactly. 10th play of this drive. They're 5 out of 12, converting third downs, as Rudolph looks right now at 3rd down and 9. 4-man rush. Rudolph in trouble and ripped down. And again, penalty flag is down. This time in the general area of holding against the offense. Yeah, Mike Morris makes the play there for the Seahawks. Would be a loss of 3.
Holding. Offense, number 76. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is 4th down.
Tough series for Andrew Rupsich. 2 penalties called on him in this series. See right there, 76. See him grabbing Mike Morris, number 94. I think they also could have gotten in there because I saw a big snatch of someone by Leroy Watson, number 72.
Hey, Charles, when was the last time you saw a 59-yard field goal?
Oh, boy. You got me on that one, Paul.
Been a while.
It's been a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, normally, who's that kid in Baltimore?
that one, Justin Tucker?
Justin Tucker. Normally you're saying Justin Tucker's got this one, but here we go.
Come on. Braden Narvison. With room to spare. You got to smile at that one.
Now, Paul, he kicked a 57-yarder at Duke last year for North Carolina State. He was like, Coach, I got this one. Colt Anderson, put me in, McBride. I got it.
Hey, not just any 59-yard field goal. That is the go-ahead.
And that didn't creep over the post either, Paul.
Nailed it. Titans Network presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Braden Narvison, the kicker out of North Carolina State, having a moment here. He's the one that just put Tennessee on top 13-12 from distance. That was from 59 yards out.
Yeah.
And he had some room to spare.
And Paul, he was at Iowa State and locally here at Western Kentucky before finishing at North Carolina State.
D. Williams from the 3. Not much space there. Run out of bounds on the left side. So let's go back to pregame. Back when it was 98 degrees, we're checking in with Braden Narvison.
Ball carries well in hot weather, you know.
How about 65 yards out?
And he punches it right through. So the coaches notice, right? They take note. What'd you hit in pregame? How do you feel? 59? That's nothing after what he hit in pregame, Paul.
And he had a few extra.
Fantastic. And remember, he's competing with Nick Folk, who last year, what a season he had. 29 of 30 field goals. And he's hit 78 straight under 40 yards. And that's an NFL record that's active. So Narvison has a hefty competition in front of him, but he's doing all he can to get noticed.
First time tonight, Charles, we can say Tennessee on top, 13-12. Kobe Lewis finds the going tough up the middle. We've been talking about rookie linebackers. There's another one, the 7th-round pick out of Miami, James Williams, loss of 1.
He's adapting well, having moved up from safety. Sees it very well. No one there to block him. Closes quickly on the running back and puts him on the ground. That was number 44, Kobe Lewis from FAU, that he dropped.
162 tackles in the defensive backfield the last 3 seasons at the U. Second down 11 for P.J. Walker. Floats one down the near sideline. That was well placed. Was he in bounds? No, he wasn't. Aesop Winston Jr. had the touchdown earlier. Trey Avery with the coverage. Those two have been going back and forth all night. Brings up third down 11.
And it looked pretty from Seattle's standpoint. That's good coverage again by Trey Avery, because he doesn't give him room to fade into the sideline and have room to come down with the catch. He has pressed him closer to the sideline than he wants to be. And when the ball came down, he faded. He was on the sideline. Good job by Avery. Good positioning.
First-year defensive coordinator for Tennessee, Denard Wilson, telling us that had to be better on third down tonight. Well, they're 2 out of 7. That's the Seahawks. So Tennessee has come through in this spot. This is third down 11.
Oh, I think these linebackers are coming.
Yes, they are. They get picked up. Walker steps up and fires that one way out of bounds. Coverage coming through there after the blitz didn't get home, and it's 4th and 11.
Well, the pressure, P.J. Walker certainly felt it. Paul, in your salad days when you were triple threat position in basketball and you were pump faking them out at the gym, that's what P.J. Walker was doing, because he couldn't find anyone first and foremost, and he felt the pressure. Pump fake, pump fake, pump fake, ball over the sideline. Mission accomplished, Tennessee defense.
I think I traveled after that third pump fake, Charles.
Yeah, they didn't call it. They didn't call it.
Third consecutive punt here for the Seahawks, Jaquan Jackson.
Not when you're putting 45 on Dubuque.
Maybe 35. Let's get to 45.
That's plenty.
Boy, that is a rocket. Jaquan Jackson will just let that one bounce at the 5 and an immediate bounce into the end zone. Inside of 7 minutes left. Tennessee leads Seattle 13-12 after a punt of 71 yards. This is the Titans Network presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Time for the Tennessee Department of Corrections sack of the game. One of those rookie linebackers, Jalen Harrell out of Michigan, showing up a couple of times.
Yeah, let's go ahead and make sure we see both of them. 2 views of each. Strip sack there. And the second one when another power rush by Harrell, and quarterbacks go down. As Al Davis used to say, the quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
There you go. Not enough just to go down.
No, Jalen Harrell gets it done. And I do think he's answered the question that Brian Callahan posed about him. Can you prove what we've seen in training camp when the lights are brightest, when you're playing other people? And Jalen Harrell's doing it.
Brian Callahan telling us he was looking at the young linebackers, James Williams and Jalen Harrell, and they've both shown up a number of times tonight. Good job in the backfield. Some quick feet there by Hassan Haskins. And of the 3 running backs playing tonight, he's gotten the fewest amount of touches.
And look who's in the ball game now, playing quarterback. Remember we had said, you know, 1st and 3rd, right? And now 2nd and 4th. So they gave Mason Rudolph another series. And I think you were on target, Paul, because you were wondering the way Malik Willis was operating in the 3rd quarter. Would he just remain out there and continue to ride the hot streak? I feel like Brian Callahan's given another opportunity here to continue to capitalize on his play in the 2nd half.
Yeah, throwing it well in the 2nd half. Charles also averaging over 7 yards per carry. And that's a good hold off the left side for Hassan Haskins, and a strong finish with some power. Penalty marker is down in the offensive backfield, but that was a strong run there by Haskins. Let's go to the field and check in with Corey.
All right, thanks, guys. I am joined now by the 2nd-round draft pick out of Texas, the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, and he is a lean, mean fighting machine, T'Vondre Sweat.
Oh, don't leave out the Outland Trophy winner.
And the Outland Trophy winner.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right. Yeah, you know, the Titans have had one before in Ryan Long, so
Yeah.
you've got good company. This, I'm assuming, was your first set of joint practices. How
Yes,
did it
sir.
go?
It went great. It was great, just the competition, the level of competing, and like I said, it was just great. And I had a great opportunity to go against the Warren, so I was just excited.
You know, we all know what player Big Jeff is. How much have you learned from him this summer?
I done learned a lot from Big Jeff, man. Wow, my bad. Like I say, I learned a lot from Big Jeff. I'm just excited to play next to him. I mean, anybody playing next to Big Jeff, you're looking to succeed. You know what I mean? So I'm just ready and happy for the opportunity to play next to him.
We talked about your mom some. You always say, I'm a mama's boy.
100%.
I mean, how big of a thrill was it to buy mom a house? Tell me about that.
It was great. I mean, that was one of my biggest plans when I make it to the next level is to buy my mom a house, and I can't be more thankful to God and the man she created, you know, my mom. And like I said, I'm a mama's boy. I love her to death, and I love you, Mom.
Yeah, you look great. I mean,
Yes,
I'm not going to ask you how much you lost, but you lost something.
Oh, 100%. And I'm still going to keep losing. Yes, sir.
T'Vondre Sweat, the Outland Trophy winner and Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like
Appreciate
the
it.
way he pointed that out. Don't leave out Outland Trophy. As my old coach Hayden Fry used to say, the late, great Hayden Fry,
Yes.
if you done it, it ain't bragging.
No, it's not. It's on the board, right? He carried that home. And believe me, it wasn't stats that won it for him. It was what he did to offenses, created rubble in the middle and made people go elsewhere to try and get things done. They had the game plan. Him and on the other side of the field, Byron Murphy, who's with Seattle. Think about those two, a defensive tackle on a college football team. And Murphy was a first-round pick for Seattle.
Yeah.
Sweat second round here in Tennessee. When you broke the huddle and saw those two, that inside run game was null and void. It was over. And there's Tracy Rocker, who's now coaching him in Tennessee, who, by the way, won those awards at Auburn.
Yeah. And found a good spot in front of the fan on the sideline as well.
He's not a rookie. Veteran coach right there. Second stint here in Tennessee.
Not his first time on a hot night.
I was just glad I was playing defense when we played against Auburn, and he was on the other side. Wasn't me who had to deal with him.
A force he was. Malik Willis looking to continue a strong second half. Another flag comes in. David Martin Robinson has that one go off his fingertips and picked off by the Seahawks. Ty Okadu comes up with it and celebrates. We'll check in on the penalty marker.
That drive Colt Anderson, the special teams coach for Tennessee, crazy because Colt went to Montana and Okada's a Montana State guy.
Illegal hands to the face. Offense, number 72. That penalty's declined. The result of this play is first down, Seattle.
Those high throws can get you, Charles.
They'll get you because you always get the tip. And defenses work on the tip drill all the time. Something comes off the hands, stays up in the air, and Okada with an extra burst laid out and caught it. He's able to get up and get a few yards on the way back and put Seattle in a good spot out near midfield.
Malik watching the interception there on the big board. 3:29 left. Tennessee clinging to a 1-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Time for the play of the game, sponsored by Kellum Stem Cell Institute. Early in the fourth quarter, that's Braden Arvison, and that is a 59-yard field goal that is drilled, no doubt. And it gives Tennessee their first lead of the game, and one they still hold on to. Brian Callahan loves it. Said, I knew we should have kicked that field goal. 59 yards out, and they lead by 1. P.J. Walker finds a diving Brady Russell here as that lead is just 1 point. Seattle has a couple of timeouts left. Just over 3 minutes remaining, and P.J. Walker, starting experience last year in Cleveland. And now trying to be the backup to Geno Smith in Seattle. Kyrie Robinson just across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, he's been a starter at a few places there in the NFL. Remember his stint in Carolina?
Yeah.
When he was there, he played for Matt Rule in college, and Matt plucked him from one of those leagues that tried to get going around the country with a whole lot of alphabet names and the whole deal. And he played in one of them, played awfully well, got his shot there, and now he's trying to make the Seattle team.
Third team in 3 years, Carolina, Cleveland, now Seattle. This would do a lot for his status there in the team if he could bring the Seahawks back. 2.5 minutes left. Quickly out of his hands across the 35 and out of bounds. The only touchdown score tonight came from Easop Winston. Takes that one for a first down.
And he had a good week of practice for Seattle against Tennessee. He's going to be an interesting decision for the Seattle Seahawks. But for Tennessee, part of their decision now is what's going to happen in secondary, right? Who's going to be the 4th, 5th, 6th cornerback that you're going to need to utilize to stop these passing attacks? Who's going to equip themselves? And maybe someone can make a play here and get noticed.
Thought he had the first. He's just a little short, third and less than a yard. And they try it up the middle.
No.
Nothing there. Tennessee's defense throws Kobe Lewis for a loss. It'll be 4th and 1.
Who needs defensive backs? And look who just got here.
He just got here.
Abdul Anderson, who they just signed because of an injury to Marlon Davidson. He's wearing number 78, which is Nicholas Petit Frere's number. Wearing that tonight, and he makes a huge play.
4th down and 1. And the whistles blow. Seattle had a couple of timeouts left. We got down to the 2-minute warning, so they didn't have to use it. All right, we've got a game. Tennessee leads Seattle 13-12. 2 minutes left. You're watching the Titans Network presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. All right, Denard Wilson, defensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, watching the special teams take over. Crowd coming alive as Jason Myers and the Seahawks attempting a 50-yard field goal that would put Seattle on top. Myers has made 2 tonight. Oh, he just slid that one in. Was waiting for the draw, Charles. It never happened.
And he will tell you that's exactly how he played it.
So Myers' 3rd field goal puts Seattle back on top. 1:55 left in the game.
And you know that Brian Callahan not happy that they're down. But what's the flip side of this, Paul?
Now you get to see the offense try and come back.
Try and come back and try and win a game for you. Who's going to step up and make a play, make something special happen for you right here? This is another part of the evaluation process for himself, his staff, and of course for Rand Carthon, the GM, and the rest of the scouting staff who are eagerly watching this game and taking notes on the film, as well as looking around the league at other players who are playing well. Because when you get that final cut-down date, there's guys you liked before you may have a chance to get again.
I'm looking down to the Titan sidelines, Charles, right below us, and Mason Rudolph has his helmet on. Looks like he's going to go back in. Malik Willis handled the last drive for Tennessee that ended with an interception after you'd thrown the ball so well in the second half.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Just a little high, wasn't it, Paul? A little high.
Yep.
Made it go off the receiver's hands. Turned into a tip drill interception.
You're not going to bring it from 9 yards out, are you?
Cordero Patterson would, but he's not here tonight.
Did that successfully.
Sure did.
Okay, Mason Rudolph comes in here, 14 starts in the last 6 years for the Steelers. And some good work ahead. 1:55 left. They're down 2. Tennessee's got all 3 timeouts left. And Brian Callahan talked to us about his experience and the fact that he played so much at Oklahoma State. Started 4 games last year at Tennessee and has really shown up in camp. Money time for it to show up now with his team down. 1:55 left in the game.
They had 2 times in Pittsburgh where he had to step in and become the starter for short stints, and did pretty well in both of them. Wants to get that field goal at least here for a win.
Rudolph to Oliver. Almost knocked away at the 37-yard line.
Like D. Williams, cornerback out of Tennessee, the rookie, battled Oliver in a big way, because this looked like a well-thrown ball to me, Paul.
Sure was.
And look at it, Williams never sees the ball, but he plays right through the arms of Oliver. And in a preseason game, not inclined to reach for their flag very often. They won't let those guys figure it out for themselves. Maybe in a regular season game, possibly you get that call. Good, tough, competitive play.
Rudolph started the playoff game for the Steelers last year at Buffalo. Ended up being a season-ending loss. Was his 4th start of the year. Here comes the blitz. Back foot. Good read. And Martin Robinson with a strong run. The crossing route, catch and run for the undrafted free agent out of Temple, and a 1st down, gain of 18.
This possibility of Tennessee keeping 4 tight ends now is getting more real with every play this young man makes. And I really don't believe, Paul, that when they went to camp, that was part of the thought process.
I think you're right on.
I think that he has played his way into a position where they are strongly considering him being part of their roster.
Led Temple in receptions last year from his tight end spot. That one from 18 yards out sets him up barely still on their side of the field. 1:43 left. Still 3 timeouts remaining. We come right back to him. Nifty move there. Tried to get out of bounds. Did not.
It's okay. He had plenty of time left on the clock. Not a worry. You hurry up to the line of scrimmage, get yourself going. Remember, 3 points wins it. And he just had a guy make a 59-yarder, so he has plenty of confidence.
That just happened in the 4th quarter. Extra blitzer comes. Wide open up the middle for Rudolph. Slides at the 40. We wait for the flag. There it is. A 1st down run and 15 more coming.
They've got to discuss how late the slide was for the tackler and his launch. That's the discussion that you're going to have as an officiating crew. Did he slide late on him? Because that tackler was into the tackling motion as Mason Rudolph's going into his slide.
That was Marquise Blair, the safety for the Seahawks. Yeah.
He's right into it. Now, the quarterback's going to get the extra protection. They're going to err on that side.
There's no foul on the play for unnecessary roughness. The result of the play is 1st down and 10.
So based off of what you just mentioned, Charles, the crowd wanted that extra 15.
Yeah.
They're not going to get it, but the ball on the 40-yard line, and considering that Narveson just connected from 59, they are in his range now. It would be a 57-yarder, 117 and ticking. Still 3 timeouts left. Rudolph wants to set up the screen, and there it is. And a nice move there. Didn't get out of bounds, but down to the 28-yard line goes Julius Chestnut.
They're in great shape right now, fully within field goal position. Well done. You're not worried about the clock as much, to be frank. And here's the other part. You want to go ahead and take it on down now in case Seattle has a chance to get the ball back. You want to bleed it on out before this field goal kick.
So, Charles, obviously in the regular season, you'd be playing for the field goal right now with the ball on the 26-yard line. Are you, since it's the preseason, are you still trying to get it down there and score a touchdown just so Brian Callahan can see more of Mason Rudolph?
Yeah, I think that listen, at this stage, he's going to trust Mason Rudolph and being a veteran. But if you got a shot, go ahead and take it and let someone make a play. You know, he's going to trust him with the football in this spot. I don't think it's all out, get the field goal. But as Brian Callahan told us before week 1, he does play to win these preseason games. He thinks there's value in winning, not just going out there and playing.
Rudolph 3 out of 4 on this drive. He also has a 10-yard run. Flag down just as he handed the ball off to Chestnut.
See, that's going to drive Bill Callahan, the offensive line coach, crazy.
False start. Offense. Number 89. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And Charles, that's 10 penalties.
Yeah, that's just totally not necessary at all. And that's going to drive the offensive line coach out of his tree. We're in a great spot. Now you're going to put us back 5 yards for no reason whatsoever. And all they were going to do is run the football. You know, we talked about would they let Mason Rudolph throw it and the whole deal. They just wanted to run it and be in field goal position.
10 plays, 90 yards, backs him up to the 31-yard line. Looks like Rudolph still wants to throw. If they do run, Chestnut is the tailback. Here comes the blitz. Chestnut left side. He ran away from the blitz. Gets down to the 28-yard line. Clock ticking now inside of 1 minute. Picked up 3. Whistles blow. Timeout called by the Seahawks.
You can tell, you know, rookie head coaches, Mike McDonald on the other side, got to show that I'm competing over there, man. I'm not going to just let them bleed the clock out. And how about Brian Callahan being able to talk to Bill Callahan on the sidelines? I mean, can you have a better consigliere?
There they are.
I mean, can you really do it?
Yeah.
Michael Corleone had his dad. He said his dad was his consigliere. It worked out pretty well.
I feel like the only NFL we know is with Bill Callahan in it.
Absolutely. Hey, you and I weren't around for him when he wasn't in it.
Right now just wants to see his offensive line provide a couple of more holes here. 1 minute left. Seattle cannot stop the clock again. And now it looks like, oh, that's a big hit in the backfield.
Is that Blair again?
Man, the safety in a hurry. Loss of 1.
I thought they did a nice job officiating, picking up the flag on the hit Blair had on Mason Rudolph. No penalty there. That was right. And then Blair comes in with a big play there. But the good thing is Tennessee's well within field goal range at this point.
Braden Arbison earlier in this quarter hit from 59 yards out. Going this way late in the second quarter. Mason Rudolph with the only touchdown pass of the night for the Titans. That went to Nick Westbrook-Akine. 20 seconds and counting now. Chestnut, both hands on the ball, gets down to the 28-yard line. It'll be a 45-yarder, potential game-winning 45-yarder for number 47, Braden Arbison, out of North Carolina State by way of Iowa State. 5 seconds left, 4. And now they stop it with 3 seconds left.
Even had a nice little stint not far away in Bowling Green at Western Kentucky, which is considered a local school here in Nashville.
Well done by Mason Rudolph there. A couple of good runs there. 3 out of 4 passing the ball. And setting up Narbison well within his range now from 45 yards out. Braden thought he's like, I've already had a great fourth quarter, made one from 59 yards out. And now he has a chance to make the game winner too.
Yeah, it could be a big night for Braden Arbison. But how about the offense fashioning together that drive? Some big catches along the way, some good runs, some sharp play. And now they have a chance to go home winners if this goes through the post.
Will actually be from 46 yards out. Braden Arbison already with a 59-yarder for the win. And he's got it. A couple of first-year head coaches, Mike McDonald, Seattle, Brian Callahan for Tennessee, and Braden Arbison. What a fourth quarter. Starts out with a 59-yarder where he had plenty extra, and then the game winner from 46 yards out. Time now for the drive of the game, sponsored by Brian's Motorsports.
Yeah, and don't let people fool you about preseason football. People like to win, but what a drive here. Tennessee down to start the drive. David Martin Robinson, the rookie out of Temple, with a big catch. A very smart run by Mason Rudolph, the quarterback, sets it up for the rookie from North Carolina State to end the night with Tennessee on top.
A couple of key scoring drives led by Mason Rudolph there at the end of the first half with a touchdown pass to Nick Westbrook-Akine. And Braden Arbison might be smiling well into next week after the 59-yarder and 46-yarder, but Malik Willis was much better in the second half, and Mason Rudolph led that game-winning drive. That'll wrap it up from Nashville, where the Titans 2-0 in the preseason. They beat the Seahawks by a final score of 16-15. Make sure to join us next Sunday when the Titans travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Our coverage begins at 1 p.m. Central Time. For Charles Davis and Corey Curtis and our production team, I'm Paul Burmeister. Thanks for spending this time on your Saturday with us. The Tennessee Titans football presented by Farm Bureau Insurance.